May 19th. Forgot to talk about this during the movie segment. Tomorrow, May 19th, is the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Okay. So I just want to give that movie a shout out because tomorrow it will have its 20th birthday. This is a movie that is probably on my lower half of Star Wars movies. Like in terms of like, how I like them. Like I still like it, but it's in the lower end, right? My least favorite of the prequels, but I still very much enjoy this movie. This was like the beginning of, I guess, my Star Wars movies, because the prequels were my Star Wars movies, right? Like I grew up watching the originals, obviously. Like I remember watching the original trilogy movies, the special editions in the theater in the late 90s.
I don't know if I ever saw the originals in the theater.
I saw the special editions in the theater, I remember. Damn. I remember because for Return of the Jedi, I got a special edition, like Luke Skywalker figure that had like, the theater edition or whatever, right? So it was a Return of the Jedi Luke, with the black and the green saber, and that was cool stuff. So
that's cool, Luke, man.
Yeah, that is to this day my favorite Luke.
Yeah, I agree.
Return of the Jedi Luke is badass. Okay?
Best Luke.
Anyway, so Episode 1, shout out to that movie. It's not the best Star Wars movie, but it's I have a lot of fond memories over it. I love Duel of the Fates. The Potter stuff was cool. We had some pretty cool characters introduced in that movie, which primary of which being Darth Maul. Everybody loves Darth Maul.
One of the coolest fucking characters in the entire franchise.
Yes, and we got him in that, and then I also really like Qui-Gon. So yeah, shout out to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Great movie. I may do a group watch of that movie one of these days, if anybody wants to check that out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Always down to watch Star Wars. I love Star Wars too. I'm just as big a fan as Daniel of Star Wars. Sorry for that burp.
But yeah, if we're ready to move on to Marvel, let's go ahead and do it, man.
Let's hit
unless
it.
Unless you don't have anything else to add on to that.
I have nothing other than hell yeah, Star Wars. All right, you got your list ready?
I have my list. All right.
All right, this is gonna be bad, guys.
This is gonna be interesting. So here, I want to have a disclaimer here, okay, everybody. Before you guys give us shit, before you guys in the chat give us shit, before anybody in the future who's watching this gives us shit, keep in mind, this is our list, so we have our opinions of which movies we like, which ones we don't like. Also, I saw Captain Marvel for the very first time last night so that I could add it into this list, okay? So Captain Marvel is pretty fresh for me, and I inserted it into my list, which I had already constructed. So it may have thrown some things off here and there, but anyway.
And add on to that, same thing as earlier. Just because we don't like something doesn't mean just fuck our opinions. If you like something, it doesn't mean anything. Just because.
And also, to add on to that, just because something is in the lower end of the doesn't mean we don't like it.
Same, yeah, exactly.
You guys have to keep in mind, there's a lot of good Marvel movies, and coming up with this list was quite the task. Okay. But yeah, and that also doesn't mean that our list can't change, because things change depending on the day. So yeah.
We're just trying to cut off the hate that we know we're gonna get anyway. So.
I mean, it's gonna happen anyways, but I'm ready for it.
All right. Do you wanna start us off with this?
We're gonna start off with number 22. Are you guys ready? Number 22. We're going from bottom to the top. So, the worst or the least favorite movie. Okay. So for me, this is an easy answer. At the very bottom, the worst MCU movie for me, or my least favorite, is probably a better way to phrase that, is Thor: The Dark World. For me, Thor: The Dark World is at the very bottom of my list. It's just not like it's fine, but it's kind of boring at times. Okay, the villain sucks in this movie. Malekith the Dark Elf.
I was gonna say I don't even remember who the fucking villain was.
Yeah, Malekith the Dark Elf, which is portrayed by Christopher Eccleston of Doctor Who fame. He was the Ninth Doctor in Doctor Who. He sucks as this guy, man. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't suck. He did what he had to do in that role, but the character sucks. Okay, Val, for me, it's again, for anybody who missed it, my bottom movie is Thor: The Dark World, which is Thor 2. Least favorite, all the way at the bottom. That's mine. And yeah, like I said, just the villain is not great. I Darcy and like her boyfriend guy stuff is just like I don't need that. That's like I get it. That's the humor of the movie, but like I could have done without that stuff. And then like Natalie Portman's character Jane, like she's not the best in these Thor movies, to be honest. Natalie Portman, she's not the best in these movies. And it just Thor, like they do the thing of like, oh, is Loki gonna die? Oh wait, he is dead. Oh wait, no, he's not. He's all right. So like they did that a few times. So I'm just like, yeah. So yeah, Thor 2 is not my favorite. The villains are not great. The only good thing about this movie is that we get the ether, I guess, the red, the red Infinity Stone.
All right. So my bottom number 22 movie at the bottom of my list is Thor: The Dark World, as well.
1 for 1. We both have Thor: The Dark World at the very bottom.
The only good thing for me on this movie, it's completely forgettable movie, except for the one thing I remember about this movie is like the battle sequence at the start. I think it's at the start. This movie's just totally forgettable for me. Like,
yeah, it is. So yeah, you're talking about the beginning. You have, I think it's Thor, Lady Sif, and the other people, right?
I'm talking about the Dark Elf battle with the Asgardians or whatever happens. I can't. This is how bad my memory is of this movie. There's some sort of fight sequence that happens.
Disclaimer. Also, we were supposed to rewatch some of these, but we ran out of time.
Yeah, we did.
Like, I wanted to rewatch a movie that I will talk about later, but I ended up watching Captain Marvel for the first time just so I could edit it. So anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World, man. It's just not. Selvig is pretty good. Dr. Selvig, he's pretty good in this. But yeah, it's just like the characters I don't really care about, and it's just the story's not that great. The villain is terrible, and Marvel generally doesn't have a good history with villains in them.
No, it's their weakest point.
It is their weakest point because they tend to focus on the heroes, which is fine, but like the villains are pretty bad. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know. You have anything else?
You ain't gotta spend much time on Dark World, buddy.
Yeah, okay. So Thor: The Dark World, 22 for both of us.
At the bottom.
At the bottom of the barrel.
What do you got at 21?
21. All right. What's 9 plus 10? Like that classic meme. Anyway, 21. At the second tier, or second to last, I have Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is right above Thor: The Dark World. So here's the thing. Iron Man 3. I know some people prefer Iron Man 2 over Iron Man 3, but I mean, or the other way around. I know some people prefer Iron Man 3 to Iron Man 2, but I don't. I think Iron Man 3 is not great. Not great. This is the Last Jedi of the Marvel universe, and I'll explain that, and I'll explain why I say that.
Before you explain this, mine is also Iron Man 3.
Oh, yours is also Iron Man 3?
Yeah, I want it before we go down all the points. I'm just like, because I think it's good if we copy, not copy.
Yeah.
If we both have the same thing, I should probably just say it.
How about this? How about if we have the same thing, then go with it.
Exactly.
Say yours as well. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so I say mine, you say yours, and then we'll go in.
There.
Anyway, yeah. So Iron Man 3. So to me, this is the Last Jedi of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why? Because it's probably a better solo movie than it is connected to the rest of the universe, right? Here's also why. A lot of the things that they do in Iron Man 3 does not matter in the rest of the MCU, okay, that shit is like retconned. Like it literally does not matter. At the end of Iron Man 3, spoiler alert, Tony gets his like, chest thing taken out. He's like, and he talks about like, and he blows up all his suits and everything, talking about like, he's not gonna like deal with that stuff any longer. Like he's gonna be Tony Stark and not Iron Man or whatever. Like just that stuff, like, which does not matter anymore. Obviously, we saw Endgame and we know what happened with that, and like everything, every movie since then, he's still been Iron Man. Every movie after that. So none of the shit that happened in that movie ever mattered. The way that they handled the Mandarin was atrocious.
So bad.
Absolutely awful.
This movie's just forgettable for me, man.
Oh my god, this movie is
same as Dark World, just about. Not to that extent, but I just don't remember much of what happened in it, and because like, it doesn't matter.
It's just like, man, like this movie just really does not matter. It really doesn't matter. There's like this little kid that Tony Stark hangs out with throughout the movie, who, spoiler alert, the little kid shows up in Endgame for like a scene, which I won't talk about until we get to Endgame, but like he shows up in that, and this is more of like Tony Stark the movie instead of Iron Man 3, because he's like out of the suit for like an extended period of time. And I guess a positive is I like the Iron Patriots. And I guess you could see Tony and Rhodey like out of their suits doing stuff, which it's fine, but like it just took up too much of the movie for me. And I just, the Extremis stuff with Aldrich Killian and all that crap was just I just didn't really care for it.
I feel like they grossly misused Guy Pearce.
Yeah, he was a terrible villain. And also another good thing is Pepper got to use the suit. That was kind of cool. Which I'll come back to that later as well. But yeah, Iron Man 3 is just not. I don't like this movie. I will say though that not recently, but a while back I rewatched it and I liked it a little bit more. But it just this movie doesn't do it for me.
I saw this movie in theaters in 3D, and I've never been so disappointed in my life.
Yeah, so for these reasons, I have Iron Man 3 at second to last.
Same. I mean, Daniel just sums it up for me.
So that's your 21 as well.
All
right. Nothing else to add to that?
Not really.
All right, so my number 20. This is going to be interesting because I have a movie here that maybe some people might not. But I have, at my number 20 spot, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Damn, son. I didn't expect that.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Here's the deal, okay? I know I might get some shit for this, but here's the deal. I absolutely love Guardians 1, okay? Guardians 1, spoiler alert, Guardians 1 is top 10 for me. But Guardians 2 is just not that great, man. It's just not. It's not as good as Guardians 1, like, by far. And I've heard some people prefer Guardians 2 over 1, and I'm just like, you're insane, man. Like, I know it's your opinion, but I can't get with that. But yeah, Guardians 2 is just not, man. Like, I like the addition of Mantis. She's cool. I like, the group as a whole continuing their adventure together and whatnot. But like Ego is just not like Kurt Russell's cool, but I don't, again, another weak villain, I think, to me. Ego the Living Planet is just not a great villain. I will say though that this is the movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Guardians 2, spoiler alert, Yondu dies in this movie. And that, the moments between Yondu and Peter Quill or Star-Lord are good, like that stuff. Like, he goes something like, "I may not have been your father, but I sure tell him your daddy," or some shit, right? He says something like that, right? And that's great, man. Like that's a cool moment between those two guys. And also there's the I'm Mary Poppins y'all thing that he does, and like that's cool. Like the movie has moments, but overall it just doesn't do it for me. I think it's definitely a weaker tier Marvel movie. Um so yeah, I just, Mantis is cool. I don't really like Ego's whatever. Everybody as a group was awesome. Baby Groot was also Baby Groot is a highlight. Baby Groot is a highlight for this movie. I'm trying to see what else. Trying to think. Nebula was kind of like she doesn't really. Does she do much of anything in this movie?
She and
I
Gamora
forget. Yeah, her and Gamora probably have some here and there.
have some stuff
I mean,
in there. That's pretty.
Oh yeah, the
interesting.
soundtrack. The soundtracks are great. Okay, for both Guardian movies. Soundtracks is also definitely another positive.
Oh, we're gonna have a podcast on soundtracks at some point.
Yeah, we will be. But
There'll
anyway,
be
yeah,
definitely more topics.
Soundtracks for Guardians 1 and 2 are both. Oh, another highlight for this movie for me, which is not a part of the actual movie, but if you guys don't know about this thing called Guardians Inferno, please do yourself a favor and look up Guardians Inferno. It is a music video that they created to promote the Blu-ray release of the movie, and it has David Hasselhoff in it. It is. I wish that you could pull up the video and show everybody, because this is fucking incredible, dude. Like, Guardians Inferno is probably my favorite thing from this movie. Anyway, talking about the movie itself, I guess that's it. I don't really have too much. I mean, I guess Sylvester Stallone is in it. He's as a scat or the Ravager or whatever. That was pretty cool. The Ravager funeral at the end of where Yondu, spoiler alert, when Yondu dies, is cool. But yeah, it's not my favorite. But yeah, so that's why, for all these reasons, I have that at for 20 for me. And I think that's it. Yeah,
All right.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. So for me at 20, and this is where I like all of these things. 20 and up, I like everything on here. 20 and down is, I mostly dislike it. But number 20 is one I wanted to rewatch but didn't get to because I haven't seen it in a while. For me, it was Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, The Incredible Hulk.
This is one that I also mentioned earlier that I wanted to rewatch it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, it's just like, to be honest with you, I haven't seen it in so long. I don't remember that much about it. The things I do like, I like Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. I really do. I think he's a great actor. But I think they did much better later on with Mark Ruffalo. I really like. Sorry, I'm blanking real hard right now. Tim Roth as
Emil Blonsky.
Emil Blonsky, man, and the Abomination. I really liked the villain. I think he was a great villain, and I love Tim Roth anyway.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, story's just kind of for me. I'll put it a little higher because I enjoyed it when I watched it. I'm just trying to think. Like, it's also a little weird. The start of it's a little weird where Bruce is off learning fucking yoga, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, which is why I really want to watch it again, man.
Yeah.
But I ended up, instead of rewatching, I ended up doing Captain Marvel for the first time. But
Yeah, I really wish I'd gotten to rewatch this one so I'd have better points. But most of the stuff at the bottom, and this might speak to my list, is a lot of stuff at the bottom is stuff I just haven't seen in a while, too. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Most things I just remember out of this movie is just Abomination and Hulk fighting and Tim Roth being a
Harlem,
badass.
yeah,
So.
just tearing up Harlem, right?
Yeah.
That's also some of my favorite stuff. I'll talk about it a little bit more when I get to Incredible Hulk, but yeah, I can attest to some of these things. I can agree with some of these things,
And for me, I think this has one of the better villains. Probably.
I like Emil Blonsky. He's a pretty good villain. Also, what's his name? General
Thunderbolt.
Ross.
Yeah, Thunderbolt. Thaddeus
Ross,
Thunderbolt Ross.
He's like one of the few characters that they kept in from this movie. They continued into the rest of the MCU.
Your boy William Hurt.
Yeah, William Hurt. He's really good as Thunderbolt Ross. So yeah. So that's your number 20, huh?
Yep, that's about all I got to say about that one. Just because I mean, it's
All
been a
right.
while. It's been a while. I didn't.
Okay.
I definitely don't hate it. I like the Incredible Hulk. It's just been a while.
Yeah. All right. So number 19. All right, ready, guys? My number 19 is Iron Man 2.
So is mine.
All right, there you go. We both have Iron Man 2 as 19. So here's the deal. I actually like Iron Man 2. Like, I know a lot of people give it shit for some reason, but I actually like it. It's not, it doesn't, I like Iron Man 2. It's the introduction of our girl Black Widow, which, by the way, ScarJo looking real nice as Black Widow in this movie. She got the curly hair thing going, and just still my favorite look of Black Widow in the MCU is her Iron Man 2 look.
I think I agree with that actually. Yeah.
She was introduced in this movie, and yeah, I actually like Iron Man 2. Whiplash as a villain, I don't hate. I don't hate Whiplash. He was kind of like a
My buttered.
yeah, I want my boy. I want my boy. No, my boy. My boy. Yeah, I don't hate Whiplash. I thought he was all right. I thought he was a funny, like, pretty, like, decent villain. He wasn't the best, but I thought he was all right, man. The one thing that I say that I probably won't like is that they copied what they did in Iron Man 1, and they gave the main villain a iron suit or whatever at the end of the movie, right? So that was kind of weird. I kind of liked him more when he just had the whips and shit. But Whiplash is kind of like I think I may be mistaken, but maybe Maj and Sean, the chat right now, can tell me. Whiplash is like a combination of two different villains, right? Combined into one. Like, I think it was Whiplash and like some other guy that was combined into from two to one, combined into one villain. But anyway,
But
and then
yeah,
there was
I love Sam Rockwell's Justin Hammer though. Like that's
Justin Hammer. I was about to bring up Sam Rockwell. Justin Hammer was pretty good. The back and forth between him and Whiplash was pretty funny. Which, by the way, the I want my blood conversation was between those two guys.
love Sam Rockwell so much.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think Ivan Vanko was a bad villain. Justin Hammer was, was all right, but
Is this
yeah,
is this the first movie we see War Machine?
no. Well, in suit, yes.
In suit, that's what I mean. It's like the actual.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's the first movie we see War Machine in, yes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they also changed Rhodey in this movie. He was Terrence Howard in the original Iron Man, and Don Cheadle was replaced him because of, like, I think Terrence Howard wanted more money or whatever. So they're like, you know what? See you, fam.
He screwed up big time. I'd be kicking myself if I made that mistake. But hey, he got Empire. So.
Rip Terrence Howard, because he could have been in the MCU still.
Yeah, and been making all the money.
He could have been making the bucks,
But hey.
So yeah, Iron Man 2. Yeah, I mean, I don't the racing scene I think is pretty dope. When Tony hijacks the race car and they're like in Monaco or whatever, Whiplash comes out, and I think that was pretty cool. Tony gets his suitcase suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he fucking pulls it on. That's so awesome. I love that part.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then you get to see more of Happy and Pepper, and like I said, Black Widow.
And the War Machine suit, man.
Yeah, we'd see War Machine for the first time, and you get Tony and War Machine against Whiplash at the end. That's pretty cool. And then when they're fighting off all the so yeah, I like Iron Man 2. It's not the worst, so to me personally. So, but it's still like towards the bottom.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, that's Iron Man 2 for me. You got anything to add on?
No, I agree with pretty much everything you said. Just yeah.
Yeah, the War Machine suit is pretty dope. Anyway, so that's my number 19.
What do you got at 18, my friend?
Number 18 is, for me, the original Thor.
Huh.
So, OG Thor at number 18 for me. I think I like this movie. I like it. I do like it. But I don't know. Loki's the villain, and obviously Loki's one of the better MCU. He's a villain. So yeah, I don't know. Like the whole like you have the same group of people that you have in the second, which we talked about earlier. You got Jane, you got Dr. Selvig, you got Darcy, and then Thor is like the god who loses his power and arrives in like Arizona or New Mexico or some shit, and then like he has to like regain. Like, are you really worthy? That type of deal. Uh, yeah, like I like the movie. It's fine. You get to see Thor and all his friends, and they fight the frost giants when they go to Jotunheim, I think. And then yeah, like I'm trying to think what else happens in this movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm trying to remember things. But I do like it. I do like this movie. Yeah, New Mexico. There you go. New Mexico, the land of enchantment. Thank you, Majid. So yeah, the dude that shoots the fire out of his head, I think his name is Destroyer. Am I wrong? Maybe somebody in the chat will correct me. But he's like this dude who's like full armor, full plated armor, and he has like a hole in his face, and he just shoots fire out of his head. That guy was kind of cool, I guess, but he was just like a whatever throwaway villain. But yeah, the main villain of this movie is Loki. So the Destroyer, yes, that's what I thought. Thank you, Majin. So yeah, the main villain of this movie is Loki. He's after. Is he after the Tesseract in this movie?
No, this is the movie where he figures out he's the fucking frost thing, right?
The frost giant. Yeah.
So he's pissed about that for most of that.
Yeah, he's like he detests Odin and whatnot because he's like.
Here's another thing that's really hard with ranking these, by the way. It all runs together because it's all connected.
It's all connected universe. Yeah. So yeah, Thor. I mean, I don't know if I have too much to say about. And like I like it, but it's still in the lower bottom of the half.
Yeah.
So yeah, your turn.
For my 18, I have Avengers: Age of Ultron. So I did not like Ultron at all as the villain in this movie. I thought he was very bad. And ultimately, I just didn't really like Ultron at all, really. Let's see, I'm trying to remember exactly what happens here. The good things that happen in this movie that I like are you get Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch, and Pietro, Quicksilver. Which, spoilers,
Indeed.
He fucking dies. He fucking dies in the movie, and I love Quicksilver.
He's in this one and only movie. Yeah, only movie that he's in dies.
So pissed about that.
To me, what I gather of that is like, hey, you guys remember how we keep bringing back Loki? He's not really dead. Well, fuck you guys. We're actually gonna kill somebody. So hi and bye, Quicksilver.
Yeah, and I just for me, it's another one of those that's just forgettable, and it's forgettable because the villain's weak. And I think that's why a lot of these movies at the bottom just have forgettable fucking villains. Because and they're the early movies because they haven't gotten the villain thing down particularly well yet. And in an army of fucking robots. I get that a lot of this is just to set up what comes next, right? Though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I feel like Ultron is. It's literally there to set up what's coming next.
I'll say this about Ultron. It's of all the Avengers movies, it's my.
It's your what? Sorry, you cut off for me.
Of all the Avengers movies, like the original Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame, it's my least favorite. Yeah, Ultron is at the bottom for me.
But you get Vision in this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is and we get Vision. I forgot about Vision.
You get introduced to Vision, Ultron, Quicksilver, and Wanda.
Yeah,
Scarlet Witch.
So and Vision's great.
And also another guy that gets introduced in this movie is Claw.
That's right.
Who, by the way, loses his arm to Ultron.
That's right.
Yeah. Majin says that killing Quicksilver is all Joss Whedon, like how they killed Coulson in Avengers.
Probably. I just
Yeah,
want
Vision is good though. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Quicksilver. Sorry, I just want to get this in. I like Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye. I like their little talk they have in Sokovia when all shit's breaking loose. Like I love that part of the movie. Ultimately, it's just Ultron's a weak ass villain, and for me, that just brings this movie down. That's about all I got on this.
Cool. Yeah, the return of Nick Fury and Maria Hill with the helicarrier. Oh yeah, that's right. When they're evacuating Sokovia, right?
All right. Yeah. You got anything to add on to that stuff?
I'll probably talk about it a little bit more when I get to Ultron. So that was what, our number 18?
Yep.
All right, my number 17 is Captain Marvel.
Wow.
I watched this movie last night, and we're gonna start getting into the territory where some things can bounce up and down from here, okay? Because I like this. I mean, okay. Again, disclaimer. I barely saw this movie. I just saw this movie yesterday. So Captain Marvel is my number 17. I like the movie, but it could have been better for me. Like, I personally am not a fan of movies where they're like, we're gonna start off here, then we're gonna have flashbacks, then we're gonna go back in the normal time, and then we're gonna have flashbacks again. We're gonna go back and forth, and this and that. And I just don't. I don't like that. I like when a story is told like from beginning to end. I don't like jumping fucking back and forth everywhere. So again, I still like this movie, and honestly, I might bump it up some more. I've only seen it once. Okay, I've only seen it once, but for now, it's on my number 17. I really enjoyed the Skrulls. I thought the Skrulls were really cool, Majin. Yes. I really liked Goose. Goose was cool. Goose the cat. And yeah, I mean, I think Brie Larson as Captain Marvel was pretty good as well. I like the '90s stuff in this movie. I thought the CGI of Nick Fury was great. He looked like a young Sam Jackson. I think Ben Mendelsohn as the Skrull dude. I think his name was Talos. Right? I think so. Maybe somebody in the chat will.
I'm so bad with names.
I think his name is Talos, right? Ben Mendelsohn's Skrull guy. Oh yeah, he's like, why would I turn into a cabinet? Yeah, that was a pretty funny line. He's like, I'll give you $50 right now if you turn into a file cabinet or some shit, right? But yeah, so that was good. Yeah, Talos. Okay, thank you, Majin. But again, this is another one of the movies. The villain was super fucking weak. Marvel or Jude Law's character, what a garbage villain, man. I didn't like this guy as villain. I didn't think he was a great villain. I just didn't work for me. Could have been better. We had cameos by like Ronan and whatnot. And then Coulson was great in this movie. Coulson, he wasn't in it a lot, but a young Agent Coulson, like on his first day on the job or whatever, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Him and Fury was good stuff. The little girl that was Carol Danvers' friend's daughter, she was pretty cool. So yeah, I like this movie, but I think the villain lowers it for me. The going back and forth from here and there to here and stuff kind of lowered it for me. And also, speaking of Fury and Goose, I do not like how Nick Fury lost his eye. I think that is, spoiler alert, Nick Fury loses his eye to Goose, and it is such a stupid thing, okay?
Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
Yeah, last time I trust somebody, I lost an eye. He makes it seem like it's such a serious thing. And then he takes a swipe at his face and he loses the eye and it's not a big deal. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? We waited this long to see how he lost his eye and a fucking cat paws at his face? Oh my god. But anyway, yeah, so listen, I've only seen Captain Marvel once. I may like it more in the future. But for now, I'm keeping it at number 17. So yeah, like it's really, this movie is the freshest to me because I just saw it last night. But anyway, that's my number 17. I may bump it up some more, but for now, yeah, like we'll have it there. But I liked Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. She was good. And yeah, that's my number 17.
All right.
Captain Marvel.
So my number 17 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think what really puts this just a little bit higher for me is just Rocket and fucking Taserface or whatever.
Oh, Taserface. Yeah.
Rocket makes this movie just a little bit higher for me, and I actually like Kurt Russell as Ego. And it's kind of goofy and funny to me. I just really like Kurt Russell, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's good. Kurt Russell's good.
Really, a lot of what Daniel said about this movie is true for me as well. Baby Groot was amazing.
Baby Groot is fantastic.
And Yondu, and I really like just all the father and son stuff. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
People are gonna judge me for wherever I put Ant-Man high up on the list because he's a parent. And Mantis. I don't think we mentioned Mantis, but she's.
I mentioned her earlier. Yeah.
All right, I didn't hear.
She's pretty cool. I like Mantis.
I really enjoyed Mantis's character. Yeah, but ultimately that's about all I have for this. The music's great. Yondu has awesome moments, and then Rocket trying to steal everybody's shit and just.
Yeah, and then at the end where Rocket's trying to explain to Groot the bomb stuff, he's like, "You press this button and that button, repeat it again," and Groot just runs away with the bomb or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't even think Ego's that great a villain either, but I think this is where they start kind of getting that better with the villains a little bit. He's still not great, but yeah, they're getting better with it at that point.
I am Groot. Yeah,
that's all I got for my 17.
All right, so that's your number 17, and that's a wrap on Guardians 2 because we both talked about it already.
Yep.
Number 16 for me is The Incredible Hulk. So here's the deal. I really, really, really wanted to rewatch this movie, okay? Because I think this movie sometimes gets a little bit of a bad rap. I think mainly because it's the second movie in the MCU. So they're like just starting things out. They're like just getting things figured out. The post credit to this movie is, I think, Tony Stark coming to Thunderbolt Ross, right?
Sorry,
I think that's the post credit.
No, the post credit.
Tony coming to Ross and talking to him about.
Yes. Sorry, I completely blanked there for a second.
But anyway, I think this movie gets a lot of shit because it's not Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. And it's still, I think it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it's a good movie. I like that final fight in Harlem with Abomination and the Hulk. I think that's fucking, like, that's really cool, man. And then again, I mentioned earlier, but Thunderbolt Ross is in the other movies. He's great. I thought that Betty, her name is what? Liv Tyler?
Yeah, Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler as Betty was all right, you know. Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky was pretty good.
Love Tim Roth. I love Tim Roth in anything.
I'm cutting off.
Yeah, you did cut off a little bit. You might want to adjust a bit.
Let's see. How about now? Is this better?
You still cut off for me.
Still?
Yeah. Do you want to restart the call really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Hang on 1 second, guys. Let me...
We're right back, guys.
Switch scenes. All right, go right ahead.
Gonna restart this real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the call. We probably should have done this on the break, but I didn't think about it.
All right, does it sound good?
Yes, it sounds good. Hello,
right,
we're
cool.
back.
All right, we're back, everybody.
Sorry about that. We should have done that on the break, but I didn't even think about it. So we do the calls.
We'll know about it for next time.
Exactly, we're working the kinks out. So far, I'm very happy with everything we're doing, except when we took the break, I forgot to hit stop recording. That was the only thing I forgot. That's why I ran back in here.
Anyway, so Yeah, I think where was I?
Uh,
We're talking about
uh, Tim
the
Roth, Abomination, Hulk fight.
yeah, that was great. I love that fight. It's great. Tim Roth is pretty good. And yeah, I just it's a movie that again I really wish I would have rewatched so I could like properly place it on my list. But for now, it's gonna go here.
Same.
Again, I think it gets a lot of shit because it's early in the MCU and they're not using Mark Ruffalo and they're using Edward Norton instead, which I didn't think he was too bad as a you know
I really like
Hulkman.
Edward Norton.
Um, but yeah, it's they leave an Easter egg of the leader, which is like this dude with like a big head in the comics or whatever. The leader is in this movie, and then also another Easter egg that I recently found out not too long ago is: do you guys remember the teacher guy from Spider-Man: Homecoming? One of the teacher guys. He's in this movie. He's in the Incredible Hulk as like a something like he's like in college or some shit. So he's in Spider-Man: Homecoming and in the Incredible Hulk. So that I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Incredible Hulk. Again, I wish I had more to say about it, but for now, we'll leave it at that. I really like the final fight, and we'll leave it at number 16.
All right.
And that's my number 16. So your turn.
That's Hulk for both of us, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, we both talked about the Incredible Hulk.
So my number 16 is the original Thor, the very first Thor, Thor 1.
Wow, Thor 1.
I really enjoy this movie. I really like Hemsworth. I really like Loki. Tom Hiddleston. I really like Odin so much. And it's just an well, it's not origin story. I mean, it kind of is.
Kind of, yeah, kind of.
It's a proving your worth story, showing you're worthy of that power you have. So I just enjoy the character growth of Thor in this movie. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the Destroyer. I think that's kind of lame.
Destroyer, I mean...
The big robot man.
The big metallic dude with the fire from his head, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's kind of lame.
It's kind of just a villain.
It's like bargain bin Ultron.
it was a throwaway villain that they put in there.
But Thor is just great, and Loki, and those two's relationship is such a driving force in a lot of the MCU. So I just really enjoy it. So I put it a little bit higher. And again, it's sons and fathers, which is happens a lot in the MCU, which is something I'm a fan of. What do you got?
It's a fair placement. No, I was just gonna add in that this is like one of the movies where Thor looks different.
He does.
Because I think he like bleached his eyebrows, or I don't know what the hell he did. He there's something with his hair that looks different.
It looks from almost like a doll. It's kind of weird.
He looks different in this movie than he does in the other movies. Like,
thank God they changed all that.
Yeah, because he looks weird in this one. But yeah, they were just figuring it out, so they changed it later, and he looks normal now. But anyway, that's that. Yeah, Thor. I like Thor. I like Thor too. I mean, Thor. I like Thor as well. I don't like. Not Thor
we already had that discussion.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about Thor. So yeah, that's your number 16, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you got?
I already said my 16. Mine was Incredible Hulk. So if we're moving on 15. To 15,
yeah.
My number 15 is Age of Ultron. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I might have placed this a little bit too high now that I'm thinking about it. For me personally, but again, things can go up and down. The list fluctuates, okay? But I did also give it a little bit more credit because we talked about it earlier when Josh talked about it, but you do introduce Ultron, you do introduce Vision, you do introduce Wanda and Pietro, the twins, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So they both they all get introduced in this movie. Ulysses Claw. There's, because of this movie, the stuff in Civil War happens. So, the signing the Accords and all that deal. Hawkeye gets a cool moment with Quicksilver. At times, they have the whole "you didn't see that coming," that whole thing that they do throughout the entire movie, and then I'm trying to think of what else. I like the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. That was kind of cool, even though they were like destroying a fucking city, like Man of Steel style. Uh, but yeah, they I like that whole Coldbuster thing, and then yeah, Ultron is not. He's not a. I wish they would have done him better. To be honest, he's not the best in this. I like James Spader as
Um,
Ultron.
I like James Spader a lot too.
James Spader is great as Ultron, but like Ultron is just he was a very disappointing villain to me. I thought he was gonna be one of the best, and he just turned out to be very 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 disappointing. For me, and you as well. You said too, right?
He really
But
is. The
yeah,
no strings on me part is probably the best part of Ultron.
yeah. I mean that James Spader.
Just that one.
Makes,
Yeah, that's Spader. That's all Spader. That's not even Ultron.
he makes that awesome. Yeah. But yeah, and then the way that Vision takes out Ultron at the end, and like just the evacuate, it's a very I don't know, it's very similar. Unpopular opinion: Ultron is one of my favorite villains. Interesting, Majin.
Hey, Majin.
Interesting, yeah, interesting. He just didn't work for me. I wish they would have done him better, but that's fair. You know, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I wish they would have done a little bit better with that. I'm trying to think of what else is in this movie. I guess like one of the reasons why this lowers the movie down for me a bit more is because like in the middle of the movie, I think they go to Hawkeye's farm or whatever, and I'm like, Hawkeye's cool and all, and seeing his family is nice, but I think they spend too much time there on Hawkeye's farm, and yeah, I just that kind of yeah. But I will say at the very beginning of this movie, we get the whole like Avengers assembled like shot where they freeze the camera and they're all like in action poses and stuff when they're charging at the Hydra facility or whatever. That was fucking cool, man.
Yeah, that is pretty dope.
That shot is dope. But yeah, there's things that I like and dislike about this movie, but it's one of those movies that could probably be lower, maybe, but we'll have it at 15 for now. So that's where we leave it at my number 15, Age of Ultron.
So my number 15 is Captain Marvel, and my biggest con with this movie, my biggest negative with it is the first two acts of this movie. It has no heart at all. It has no heart. Not Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, Cara Danvers. For the first two acts of this movie, she's an emotionless machine, and maybe that's the point. This movie feels very. It's just a generic origin story movie with flashbacks. It does not get. I don't start to care about that character until the third act, and by that point, for me, it's too late. So, I like the Skrulls. Young Nick Fury was great.
Mm-hmm.
I do like what they did with the Skrulls in this movie, without trying to be too spoilery.
I did too. I thought they were great.
But yeah, for me, this movie just doesn't have heart until you get to the third act, and I think you could have easily fixed that. I think Mark Bernardin said it on Kevin Smith's podcast, where he was like, if in the entire in the flashback scenes, if they had never let her fly in the first two acts of the movie, the entire fly an airplane or a helicopter or anything. And then at the very end, she gets that kind of flight moment. It probably would have ended better for me. It probably would have been higher. It would have had more heart. I would have had a reason to care. I didn't have a reason to care the first two acts.
Gotcha.
I don't hate it, but I do have. I just
you don't
didn't
hate
like
it, but you
part.
don't love it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's my 15. What do you got at 14?
At my number 14, this is where we get into the struggle part. Okay.
Yeah, it gets real hard from here.
From 14 and on, for me, this is where it gets super tough. Okay?
I think I can agree with that.
Because this is where I lasted the longest time trying to figure out the middle. Okay.
Middle's hard.
I will say every movie here and on, I like. Okay, so it's not like I don't like any of these movies. I like every single one of these movies. It's just placing them on a list when you're forced to put them on a list is tough. You have to put things lower than others, and I like all of these things coming up here. But at the end of the day, you're coming up with a list. You got to put things somewhere, and you just put them somewhere, man. Again, I may change this stuff later on, but for now, my number 14 is Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, man. It's weird because I'm going from Ultron to Doctor Strange, but listen, I really like Doctor Strange, okay? But again, we're getting into tough territory here, all right? We're getting into tough
Man,
territory.
it's hard. It's a hard fight.
So I it was a struggle trying to put these in here. But yeah, Doctor Strange. I really like Doctor Strange. It's a fantastic movie. It's a it's I like Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, yeah. Benadryl Cumber muffins. I like him as Doctor Strange. He's good. I like Rachel McAdams as you know the neurosurgeon lady. She was good too, and you know she's always like how you doing, lady? But I mean, hey, Rachel McAdams is an attractive lady. All right,
she's gonna be like, hey, you could have had me, but you put me too low on your list.
I like Doctor Strange. Okay, it's a movie. Anyway, I like. I think that what's his name, Mads Mikkelsen as shit. What's the villain's name?
It is.
What's the villain's name in Doctor Strange?
Oh,
shit.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Fuck, I know this.
How do you say it?
I
don't know how to say it.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's this in the chat. I just don't know how you pronounce it. I can't remember how they say it in the movie.
Because Caecilius, I think.
Yeah,
that's
that's
how you say that. Caecilius, yeah. I thought he was not bad. I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was like too terrible. I thought he was pretty cool, pretty good. And you know, Mads Mikkelsen always elevates everything. So he's
fucking Phoenix King.
Yeah, man. And I like the whole Dormammu I've come to bargain thing when he like dies a million times over and over again. He keeps coming back. Dormammu I've come to bargain. Dormammu I've come to bargain. Yeah,
there's no telling how many times he does that.
Yeah, he could have been there for like forever. And I like Wong, or Benedict Wong as Wong. You know, that was he's good. I like the Cloak of Levitation, like being its own thing, doing its own thing. You know, and the way that Doctor Strange goes, he's very similar to Tony Stark in that they're fucking assholes, and then something happens to them that changes, you know, that begins their arc into like a better person or whatever. So they have similarities in that, and yeah, I think that that it's Doctor Strange is a great movie. I really like it. But again, when you're making a list, you have to put things somewhere. And for me, it just ended up here. But honestly, Doctor Strange could be higher for me. It could be higher for me. I really like Doctor Strange. And I think I'm trying to think of what. Oh, the Ancient One. What's her name? Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Great, good stuff. Which we'll talk about her later as well. She shows up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ancient One is great. Caecilius is cool. Watching all these fucking wizards open up portals and fucking beat each other up with shit is awesome. All right, I like all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
What's his name? Baron Mordo was cool as who plays him? I think it's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
I don't even know how to
Baron
say
Mordo.
it. Love him.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
He's awesome.
He's good as Mordo. He'd probably be the villain of the second movie. If I'd had to think of something, he'd probably be the villain in the second one.
He's good as a villain too.
Yeah, he is. Have any of you guys seen Serenity, the fucking Firefly movie?
Mm-hmm.
He is a damn good villain in that movie. So shout out to Chiwetel Ejiofor, good villain, good dude.
Boy.
But yeah, Doctor Strange, number 14 for me. Could be higher, but that's where I have it for now.
All right, I'm gonna get shit for this.
Number 14. What is it?
So, much like Daniel said, everything's got to go somewhere. And from here on out, I love everything on this list going up.
I agree. Yeah, I said that too. Everything here and up, I like.
And this is where I put Captain America: The First Avenger. Okay. And so it's our first introduction to Steve Rogers, right? It's first introduction. And I enjoy a good World War II movie. And I think Chris Evans is great as Captain America. And then you got Red Skull, who is one of my absolutely favorite villains.
Me too. I really love Red Skull in this movie.
Hugo Weaving does an amazing job.
Great.
He was also awesome as villains, and it's always a good time to fight Nazis and Hydra. So you got your Peggy Carter, awesome. Love Peggy Carter. Sebastian Stan as Bucky.
Bucky, yeah.
Also one of my favorite characters. I love Bucky.
Oh yeah.
And then you got Howard Stark. You got Tony Stark's.
Dominic Cooper is Howard Stark. Yep.
And Stanley Tucci as the super soldier
as the professor
doctor.
Guy. Yeah. Stanley Tucci. That's right. That is him.
And then you got all the I don't know what Cap's squad is called. His commandos.
The Howling Commandos.
Yeah, his commandos. I think all of them were great. I love the Howling Commandos.
You have what's his name? Fucking Neil McDonough
from fucking Band of Brothers.
Arrow, from Band of Brothers. From a bunch of things.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Great, yeah. He's great. He's great in this movie.
Ultimately, this movie just needed to go somewhere, and I didn't rate it higher than anything else on this list, just because.
It's fair.
Oh, you also have Zola. Zola's in there. Dr. Zola.
Arnim Zola, Arnim Zola. Yeah.
Dr. Zayas? Sorry.
Dr. Arnim Zola.
Oh yeah, and it's the Tesseract's in this one.
Yep, Tesseract is in this movie.
But yeah, it needed to go. And I really enjoy. I mean, it's just your origin story for Cap. So, and I really enjoy Cap's story. I think it's great. I love how he's a small guy with heart and courage, and he earns that fucking serum. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have any negatives for this movie. It just needed to go somewhere. So
you just had to go somewhere. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. All right, so that's your number 14.
That is it.
And here we go. Number 13. For me, number 13 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Ha.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people have this in their top 10. But for me, I just liked some of these other movies more.
I feel you.
Here's the thing. Spider-Man Homecoming, I know I'm going to get shit for this. I know I am. I have it on number 13 because here's the deal. It's not even my favorite Spider-Man movie, right? I still enjoy Spider-Man 1 and 2 from Tobey Maguire more than this one. Maybe it might be a nostalgia thing. I don't know, but I still like those two more.
Oh, Doc Ock's such a good villain in 2.
Doc Ock is great. I like Green Goblin personally as
so good. Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. So yeah, I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's fucking great as Spider-Man. He probably is the best. He's the best Spider-Man we've had live action, right? As much as I like Tobey myself, I think Tom Holland is great. But yeah, I don't know, man. This movie is just. I know it's supposed to have more of like a high school, like John Hughes kind of feel, like The Breakfast Club or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like a superhero Breakfast Club type deal, and that's fine. But it's just not what I look for in a superhero movie. So for that reason, and I don't. They like Mary Jane isn't Mary Jane. She's like Michelle / MJ or whatever, and I don't know. I like the movie. I thought Michael Keaton was great as the Vulture. That plot twist that they do was pretty cool. I watched it with some people that didn't see it coming, and it was great. I like the tie-ins that they have with the original Avengers movie. They have the Easter egg of Donald Glover as the Prowler in that movie as well. Shocker's in it for like 2 seconds. He gets taken out like a wimp. But yeah, I like this movie, but it's not my favorite Spider-Man movie. I think it's good. Tom Holland's great. I think Ned's a cool sidekick friend to have. And I like that they were building the Lego Death Star. I don't like that they dropped it and broke it. But yeah, it's a good movie. I really like it. But again, it's not up there for me. So it's somewhere in the middle for sure. And that's Spider-Man Homecoming.
All right. So for my 13, I got Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man is one of my absolutely favorite movies, and I'm going to talk about it more when we get up to the original Ant-Man movie. But his relationship with his daughter, just brings so much heart to movies, to those movies for me. Um, Paul Rudd is amazing. He is great. Love him
Yep,
so much
sure
in these
is.
movies, and the Wasp gets her time to shine in this fucking movie.
Oh yeah, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's not Ant-Man 2 or anything. It's she's in the title, man.
Damn right.
Damn
Uh,
right.
Michael Pena is hilarious. He's hilarious in both Ant-Mans and great. All David Dastmalchian, all of Scott Lang's security buddies are awesome. The only weak part for me in this movie is Ghost, the villain.
Mm. Well, it's. I'll talk about it when I mention this movie, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't. She's complicated. She's
Mm,
she
very much
doesn't.
so. Yes, very much.
She's not
Because
really
she's not
like
really
the
a villain.
villain. Yeah,
She's not really a villain. That's why.
yeah. It's like she just wants to survive. She's going to great lengths to do it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Ghost. Man, that's it. Well,
Fair enough.
I enjoyed Lawrence Fishburne a lot. He was in this movie a lot more than I thought he was gonna be. I'm like, oh, he's just gonna be in here for like this couple scenes, and then it turns out he's in it a whole lot more than I anticipated. So,
Sure is.
and then you got Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne.
Indeed. Michelle
Fucking
Pfeiffer was. She was in this movie not a whole lot, but she was good.
yeah, she was good in what she was, and then Michael Douglas, of course, is Hank. Pym returns and he's great. I just really enjoy the relationship between Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Scott Lang and Hope and Hope trying to save her mother, and I enjoy the story, but the villain is where it's weak because it's not really a villain. So that's where I have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
All right.
What are we on? 12?
We are on 12, I believe.
All right. What do you
So
got?
number 12 for me is Black Panther.
Oh,
Now, I like Black Panther, but doesn't it's fine. Like it's a cool. It's another one of these movies where it's like you have their main protagonist, and the villain is another dude with the same power or same suit, which Marvel does a lot. The original Iron Man does it. This movie does it. Uh, Doctor Strange does it. A lot of Marvel movies, Ant Man does it in the first one. So a lot of these movies have like the main character, the good guy, and then you have the bad guy who's like the same version of the dude but like bad, which I don't really have a problem with it, really. But it is what it is, and yeah, I mean, I like Black Panther, but again, it's not like up there for me. It's just shy of the top 10 though, at number 12. Um, but yeah, I like the movie, but to be honest, some of the CGI in it is a little, it's a little bad. Some of the CGI in this movie is a little bad. Towards the end, where they have the suits on and they're fighting on the train or whatever, and it just you can tell it looks fake. Like when Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman have the suit on, it just looks fake. I really like a lot of the characters in this movie. Like I think Michael B. Jordan's villain, Killmonger was one of the better Marvel villains that we've had. I think he's great. I think Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther was great. We had seen him already in Civil War, but he was great here. I think Shuri and Nakia and Okoye, all the main ladies in Black Panther were fantastic. All of them were whooping ass and doing their thing. M'Baku was alright too. He was like the dude that you thought was gonna be like one of the main antagonists, and then he just turned out to be like an ally. And then I thought the dude who's the guy from Get Out, the guy with the rhino. I thought he was gonna do more, but he's just like there hanging out, wimps out at the end with his rhino.
His part is very weak in that movie.
He's an odd character, and I wish that there would have been more between him and Okoye, because there's like a deleted scene that they left out, which would have added more to his character, and they just cut it out for whatever reason. So yeah, that's kind of weak. And then I don't know, I don't like how Claw was like just killed off like that. Like obviously he wasn't gonna be the main villain, but like, I don't know. It was just weird to me how they just killed him off like that. But at the beginning, where him and Killmonger are stealing the mask or whatever, and in the museum was kind of funny. But yeah, overall, I like this movie, but it doesn't make the top 10 for me.
All right.
So yep.
Okay.
Black Panther is 12 for me, and your number 12?
My number 12 is Captain America: Civil War.
Ah.
So once again, absolutely do not hate this movie. It's just got to go somewhere, and I like the other stuff more.
Fair.
I really enjoyed the story. I really don't have much negative things to say. I don't know if I have any negative things to say about this. I mean, it's just a badass, fun movie from top to bottom. Sokovia Accords, the Avengers fighting each other, and I think one of the better villains for sure, Zemo. Because I feel like he wins.
He does.
He succeeds.
He accomplishes his mission of turning them against each other.
So I think he's one of the better villains for me. That isn't like super powered or in a suit or anything like that. He's just got a specific set of like special forces skills, I believe, if I remember right, in that movie. He's like an ex-soldier or something, right?
I think so.
So yeah, I think he's a great villain in this movie, and the airport scene where they're all fighting each other is awesome, and you get Spider-Man in this movie, so, and Black Panther, right?
Yep, Black Panther and Spider-Man both get introduced in the MCU in this movie,
which is awesome. Oh, and also Crossbones. Mm-hmm. That fucking whole opening.
They wrap up Crossbones with him. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yep. Just ultimately, not a lot of negative stuff. It's just.
Oh yeah, Giant Man made his appearance.
Yeah, Giant Man.
Wow.
And you guys know how much I love Ant-Man, and you'll really see it when we get to the top 10.
Have you ever seen the old movie, The Empire Strikes Back, where the walking thingies?
You get Peggy Carter's niece for some reason.
That's even more weird, especially after Endgame.
Yeah, so, I know.
I'm sure we'll talk about it later. Anyway, that's
it's weird.
Strange.
That's one of the weirdest part out of the whole MCU. That's one of the weirder parts for me is her. I really enjoy Black Widow and Hawkeye fighting each other in this movie.
That was good.
I'm a massive Hawkeye fan.
Yeah, Josh is a Hawkeye dude.
I am. My boy never gets his due until Endgame happened.
Which we'll talk about that, I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah, and I really enjoy Hawkeye and Black Widow's relationship a lot. Their friendship is awesome. But yeah, no real negatives for this. It just has to go somewhere, and I like the other stuff more, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I got for my number 12. What do you got for 11, my friend?
My number 11 is the original Ant-Man.
Mm.
So, original Ant-Man.
You put it higher than I thought you would, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought I might have put it a little bit lower, too. And kind of thinking about it, I actually might lower it a little bit. But, yeah, we'll have it here for now.
I mean, it's always going to change.
Yeah, it's always going to change. So, I have it at number 11. I don't know, man. Like, I became an Ant-Man fan. There was a show back in the day, and not too long ago, but like, I think it was like 2010. So before Marvel was bought out by Disney.
I mean,
right?
Shit, it was almost 10 years ago, brother. So it was back in the day.
So, back in the day, there's a show called Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If anyone has seen this show, you will know how amazing and great and fantastic this show is, and how robbed we were that it didn't continue for longer. because this show is the show that made me love Ant-Man, the Wasp, Captain Marvel, like all these extra characters, right? I fucking love that show, okay? It's probably my favorite. It's my favorite Marvel show.
I love how you said it.
Earth's
I just fucking love that show, man. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes is so good. Please check it out, everybody. If you have not seen it, if you love Marvel and the Avengers and stuff, check out Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It's like 2 seasons. We got robbed, man. It's such a fantastic show. Anyway, enough of that. But that show made me really love Ant-Man and the Wasp, and some of these other extra characters that we didn't know. Like, yeah, like Ultron was also in that. But anyway, so I was really looking forward to Ant-Man, and then the original Ant-Man is Hank Pym. So when they were first getting this movie, I was like, you know what? We're gonna get Hank Pym finally. I'm ready. They didn't because Hank Pym is the original creator of Ultron, right? But obviously in the MCU, they made it Tony because they didn't have Ant-Man in the MCU yet. So all right, I'm like, all right, we're gonna finally get Hank Pym, and then they make Hank Pym the old guy, and I'm like, shit, who's this Scott Lang guy? I like Hank Pym because of the show, right? So I was like, all right, well, Hank Pym's gonna be the old man, and we're gonna get Scott Lang. I don't really know much about Scott Lang because my Ant-Man is Hank Pym, but I'll I like Ant-Man, so I'll be looking forward to this movie. And I enjoy this movie. I really do. I enjoy this movie. I like Paul Rudd as Scott Lang as Ant-Man. I think he's good. The relationship between him and Cassie is some of the best stuff. Him and Peanut is great. And then again, they do in this movie what they do in other Marvel movies. Like they make the bad guy have the same power or suit as the main guy, the Yellow Jacket. Which I like. I think it's cool. I don't really have a big issue with that, but they do that here.
I really like the design of the Yellow Jacket suit.
Corey Stoll was all right as a villain. He wasn't like there are worse villains in the MCU than him. Best either, but he's somewhere in the middle. I'd say. But yeah, that's cool, and I like the whole Scott and his gang, being a bunch of idiot fools that steal stuff and go on heists, and I like Michael Pena's character explaining everything to everybody
Luis, man.
in dramatic fashion.
Love it.
And then he said, and then she said, and then that kind of thing. So that's cool. T.I. was interesting as in this movie. He doesn't really do much, but he's one of the side guys. And David Dastmalchian was also he's the Baba Yaga guy, which he's that dude. He's cool. Evangeline Lilly is another very attractive woman.
Woo!
Evangeline Lilly. She's great as Hope. Fucking Michael Douglas is great as Hank Pym. So yeah, I like Ant-Man. It's a good movie. Honestly, when I made this list, I had a little bit higher. I would probably have it a little bit lower now, but it's here for now. So that's my number 11, Ant-Man.
Awesome. Yeah. My number 11 is the original Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie is, I have nothing really negative to say about it. I think Ronan's not a super strong villain by any means, but this is one of the first movies that's hey, we can have a lot of fucking fun in the MCU, right? Here's Star-Lord. He's hilariously goofy and silly. Peter Quill's awesome. Gamora. Oh my god, love Gamora so much. Dave Bautista as Drax.
So good.
He's so good. Oh my god, I love it. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember what all happens in this movie because it all runs together.
They go for the the beginning of the movie starts off with Peter going after the Purple Stone.
Yeah, right? The whole sequence, the credits, the opening.
Yeah,
him dancing credits. And singing,
him dancing in the rain, kicking animals,
which gets even better when we hit Endgame in a bit.
It does, yeah.
Drax is just great. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of more stuff to say about him, but he's him summoning Ronan is hilarious, and he's drunk and trying to fight him and shit.
Oh yeah.
Nova Corps. The Nova Corps are in this movie.
Nova Corps. Yep.
Yeah.
Still no Nova, but we have Nova Corps.
Groot is great. This is Big Groot. We get Big Groot in this movie.
No, this is normal Groot. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Rocket steals the Guardian movies for me personally. For me, he makes those movies.
He's my favorite Guardian for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Like
Rocket's the best.
But yeah, I love that the dance off at the end is hilarious.
Dance off, bro.
And then them all holding the stone and like with the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it's all just it's so awesome. I love it. I love Guardians.
I really love this movie, yeah.
I have nothing really bad to say about it, which is that's probably going to be a repeated line from here on out because I have nothing to say bad about any of these that are coming up. It's just I enjoy just other things a little bit more than I enjoyed the others. I don't hate any of it, so.
Exactly.
What do you got for your 10? We're getting in the top 10, guys.
Yep, top 10, guys. We're finally here. So my number 10 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, the only reason why I place this higher than them, I know a lot of people will have Ant-Man higher than Ant-Man too, but I love Ant-Man and the Wasp together. They're both fucking cool, okay? Like, again, I told you guys about Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They're both in that show. They're both awesome. I just love these characters. And again, Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp, hot damn. Like, yes, more and more of that. And yeah, the villain issues is, you know, there isn't really a villain in this movie, like a main villain. Ghost is kind of like they make you think she is, but like as the story progresses, she's not really. Yeah, I really like this movie, man. Like I personally enjoy it more than the first Ant-Man because again, you get both Ant-Man and the Wasp. There are some things that you know improve on it. The first one, I think. I really like Michelle Pfeiffer in this, even though she's barely in it. I like Michael Douglas in it. I like Evangeline Lilly, Paul Rudd. They're all good. Peanut is also great in this one. Again, I would say probably one of the negatives for me of this movie is probably the cop guy. You know, the Asian cop guy who's a little like too over the top with the jokey stuff. So he's probably like not my favorite thing about this movie, but I still really enjoy this movie. So the whole final chase scene at the end is cool. You get Giant Man again. Lawrence Fishburne is doing his thing, which again, yeah, he was in it longer than I thought he would be. And yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just again both Ant-Man and the Wasp together is like the main reason. And then the post-credit scene to this movie is pretty cool too. You know, Ant-Man gets left behind in the quantum realm or whatever. While spoiler alert, everyone else gets dusted. So yeah, that's why I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. And honestly, like thinking about it now, I might place both of the Ant-Man movies a little bit lower, and some of these other ones like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and a little bit higher. But you know, that's what I have them for now. That's how it is. So that's my number 10. What's yours?
This is where I put Spider-Man: Homecoming. I like Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. It is it's your younger Spider-Man in high school. I enjoy it very much. I love Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Adrian
He's pretty great.
James. And the twist with him and his daughter, I didn't see it coming. It did a very good job of like I didn't know it was going to happen. And he's a villain it's another complicated villain, right? Because he's not doing it necessarily out of an urge to be evil. He just needs the money to support his family and stuff. So he's a villain with many layers, I guess you could say. So I really enjoy that very much. The voice in Peter's suit, Karen.
I think so.
And him
That sounds like
talking to
all
her.
right.
And him talking to her, I enjoyed a lot. And like them having conversations and stuff.
One thing I forgot to mention when I talked about this movie is I like Tony Stark and Peter's interactions.
Yeah, their relationship is awesome.
I don't know how I forgot about that, but yeah, and then also Marissa Tomei. Damn.
Smoking.
Again. She's man, on May. Anyway, go ahead.
And you get Aaron Davis in this movie for like a second. Donald Glover. The fucking uncle of Miles Morales. And let's see, what else? Shocker. Little cameo.
He's in it for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Who's one of my favorite villains just from the Spider-Man games, which I still need to play the newest one.
I liked him from the animated series.
Yeah, and that. I enjoy the Washington Monument. All that stuff is great, and yeah, I enjoyed the mid-credit scene a lot. Where you see Toombs talking to the oh my god, how do you say his name? The Scorpion guy. The guy that would become Scorpion.
The Scorpion guy, yeah.
Yeah.
They're setting up that Sinister Six, huh?
And out of all the Spider-Man, yeah, I would say Tom Holland's probably my favorite as well.
Okay.
Although I love Tobey Maguire too. I don't hate Andrew Garfield. I think all of them's been pretty decent.
Yeah, it's fair, yeah.
But Tom Holland's
he's good. He's the best because he's good at both Peter and Spider-Man.
But yeah, Michael Keaton as the Vulture.
Also pretty good, yeah.
What is it with you and flying things? Okay. What do you got at your number 9? That's all I got to say.
My number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
Volume 1. I love this movie, okay? I love it a lot more than the second one, by far, as you guys know. Guardians 1 is badass, okay? I just love the way all the characters get introduced together, and Rocket and Groot are cool. Gamora is a badass. Peter Quill and his fucking mixtape is incredible. Drax or Dave Bautista as Drax. Josh mentioned it earlier, but he's fucking good as Drax, man. All right, you give Dave Bautista these certain roles, and he's stellar in them. Okay. And yeah, just Ronan is probably he's a weak villain. He's a weak villain, but this is also the first movie where we get Josh Brolin as Thanos, I believe. He shows up for a bit. So that was cool. And then you get some the Nebula and Gamora stuff in here is great. Seeing the Nova Corps, on their planet was awesome. Seeing all these like different colored people, like pink colored people and like yellow colored people, and like it was just cool seeing all these aliens, man. Like that stuff was awesome to me. The Nova Corps formation ships at the end where they're like ready to defend against Ronan's ship is pretty rad. The Collector is pretty neat in this. The post credit scene is Howard the Duck. I mean, come on, that's like come on now. Yeah, like I just really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. It's top 10 for me. It's right at number 9. But yeah, I really enjoy this movie. It's a good cast. I like when they're doing the prison breakout stuff, and Rocket's like, I'm gonna need that guy's arm or whatever, right? It says, right? Or what is his eye or his arm or something? I forget. He's done some of this stuff in several movies.
By the end of it, he's stolen an arm, a leg, and an eyeball somewhere along the way.
Yeah, somewhere. He has like body parts all over the place. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy this movie. The "We Are Groot" moment where like Groot sacrifices himself to save everybody, and they're all like, as a family at the end. That's a great moment. And yeah, like Guardians 1 is up there for me. I really like this movie. Again, Ronan is pretty weak as a villain. The dance off thing, the first time I saw, I was like, what the hell is this thing, man?
It's so random.
I was like, this is the way it's gonna go down. But yeah, like it's it makes sense with these characters, so that's why it's not all horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's one of the first
Guardians.
outrageous movies.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 was the first time where we explored the cosmic, Marvel universe, and I really enjoyed it, and it was fucking I love it. So yeah, number 9 on my list, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
All right. My number 9 is the first Avengers. Avengers 1.
Ah,
The first team up.
Okay.
I love this movie. But I do not like the Chitauri. They're just there to be bodies to fight.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I love Loki. I love Hawkeye again. Hawkeye and Black Widow. The relationship in this movie, relationship is great. Love it, and everybody teaming up for the first time, and they're having that fucking fight in New York, and it's just awesome. It's just fucking awesome. And you get to see Shield in like their full glory, with the airships, whatever they're called. I can't remember.
With the helicarriers.
Helicarriers, that's it.
You do get to see Shield in their glory.
You get the badass theme song.
Hell yeah, dude.
You
should play it right now, just a little bit. Got to, man. You got to.
It'll mute us if we do, though. That's the problem.
Damn.
I do like Loki like turning Hawkeye bad with the staff. I always find that very interesting.
The mind control thing.
Yeah, I like it. Mostly because I just like watching Clint fight the Avengers because it shows him being a badass.
Majin says the Chitauri were basically scrolls from the Ultimate Universe.
Yep. They're just there to give our heroes somebody worthy to fight.
Something to beat up and kill, yeah. And
we got is this the first Mark Ruffalo Hulk?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
this
so
is the first Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
At first when they first introduced him, I was a little on it because it's weird.
I was like, who the hell is this guy?
It's a little weird how they do it, right?
Yeah.
But
Natasha goes to find him, by the way, in case you guys don't remember.
Yes. But once you get used to it, it's fine. He's great, and he continues to be great.
He's awesome. Mark Ruffalo's great.
Loki, Falcon with
villain.
Hulk. When they're in prison in the ship is great. That's right. Coulson fucking dies in this movie.
Coulson dies in this movie. Yes.
Oh my god, the heartbreak.
Rip Agent Coulson. As Tony would say, his first name is Agent.
And there's just so many good. There's some good fucking one-liners in here. With fucking Loki getting goddamn ping-ponged in the goddamn floor by Hulk. It's great.
Puny god.
Tony talking to Loki. We'll be damn sure to avenge it. All that entire speech is awesome. Ultimately, only thing I'm not crazy over are the Chitauri, but I get why they're there.
Chitauri.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, it's understandable.
You need bad guys to fight, so you need mooks.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly why. Yep.
But yeah.
Cool. So that's your number.
That was my number 9.
Number 9. Okay. My number 8 is Thor Ragnarok.
Wow.
I listen. I'm telling you, dude. This is where it gets tough, man.
I'm not hating on it. I'm just surprised.
I know. I'm saying there was gonna be some surprises. I fucking love this movie. Okay, I love Thor Ragnarok. All right, it's so good, and it's a shame that it's at number 8 because it's a damn good movie. But I have to have it at number 8 because there's just some of these other movies that I enjoy more, man.
I feel you.
So yeah, Thor Ragnarok is a fantastic movie. I love Thor's like switch up, they change his look and his style and everything. Like he goes from being the long-haired, Shakespearean thing that Tony Stark calls him in the original Avengers. He's like, "Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?" So he goes from that type of stuff to like, the short hair gladiator fucking. He loses Mjolnir and he it's a fucking gladiator, man. He goes from that to that. That's cool. I like the Hulk also in this movie. He's pretty great. And what's his name? Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster is literally playing himself. And
Watching Jeff Goldblum play.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum as Jeff Goldblum. A profanity just came from the other room. Number 8? Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. I understand. I really like this movie, but it's tough coming up with a list where you just enjoy certain other movies more. Okay? So yeah, it's at number 8, but don't get me wrong. It's the best Thor movie and I absolutely love it, okay? Anyway, I thought Kate Blanchett as Hela was great. She was good. I thought Carl Urban as whatever his character's name, where his two guns, Des and Troy, destroy, together. That was great. Odin's goodbye, Odin's farewell is in this.
Oh my god, it's emotional.
Yeah, that's pretty emotional stuff. Yeah, and then Thor and Loki, man, just teaming up and getting stuff done, and the beginning. All right, the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie is just incredible. It starts off with Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song. Thor's like tied up on something and he's fighting the monster guy. Surtur, I think is his name. I mean, this movie is just amazing. I have literally nothing negative to say about it. I love it. I have only positives. The only thing is, yeah, I wish I could put it higher, but at the end of the day, I just, the Marvel you have to blame Marvel because they have too many good movies, okay? And I like a lot of them, but this one is at number 8. I love it, but we're gonna keep it here. And before I let Josh go on to his number 8, I love Korg and Meek. They're great. Piss off, guys, and all that stuff.
That's so good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. Oh, actually, I do have a negative. One negative, only one. I don't like how easily the Thor's friends got killed by Hela. What happened to them was what happened in Revenge of the Sith to the Jedi confronting Palpatine. They died instantly. And I thought they would put up more of a fight. So that's my only negative. But other than that, this movie is incredible. It's by far the best Thor movie. And yeah, there's a lot of things I love about it. Valkyrie. Oh, I almost forgot about Valkyrie. She's great. She's great in this. She's so good. And yeah, I really love this movie. I can't stress it enough. So for you guys telling me that number 8's too low, I get it. I know. But I really do love this movie. I really do. Anyway, go ahead, Josh. Your number 8.
All right, my number 8 is Black Panther.
Okay.
This movie's got heart to it, and I enjoyed it very much. I echo a lot of what Daniel said with it earlier. My only issues with it is I don't like how just Killmonger comes out of nowhere and then just challenges you to a fight, and then all of a sudden he's fucking king. This seems weird to me. I think it needs a little bit more.
I can agree to that.
It's just
he just shows up out of nowhere with Claude dead, and he's like, "Yo, I'm your king now," or whatever.
Yeah, and they have that fight. Fight's good.
Don't you know? Don't you know that's not how it works in WWE? Come on, now. You can't just come in and challenge. You can't just challenge the guy with the belt. Come on now.
I get why they did it. It's like he needs to be the villain. So yeah. And I echo just about everything you say with this. The Wakabe, or however you say his name, is. I wanted more there. It just seems like I'm just on his side because he killed the guy. That's it.
Yeah, the Rhino guy.
Yeah,
he's.
I like Michael B. Jordan a lot as Killmonger. I love him in Creed. But it just seems there's just a few things there that bother me a little bit. But I mean, it's still like it's my number fucking 8. So.
Yeah.
Shuri's great. M'Baku's great.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Whitaker's in here. He's great.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention him, but yeah, he's in this. He's in this movie. Angela Bassett, mom is pretty good,
And of course, Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, Black Panther.
The cast is incredible.
Yeah, it's a great fucking cast.
Great ensemble.
It's just hard for me to pronounce the names because, yeah. Lupita's great. It's just everybody's great. Martin Freeman's in this movie, and I enjoy him in this movie.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Angela Bassett. But yeah, ultimately, I don't hate it. I have a few. I get you got to get to where you're going, so you got to do a few things that are a little weird to get there sometimes. But ultimately, I enjoy Wakanda and Black Panther. So.
Majin says Angela Bassett with gray hair was giving me Storm vibes.
What is your? We're on number 7 now. Yes.
We're on number 7.
What's
My number
yours?
7 is the original Iron Man. Again, I fucking love this movie. I remember May 2008. I saw this movie in the theater, and I fucking loved it. AC/DC. You got your Burger King. You got your Tony Stark. I mean, okay. This is an incredible movie, okay? I love the original Iron Man. I really, really do. It's my favorite Iron Man movie. It's it's so good, man. He goes to like you wanna know how old this movie is? They mentioned MySpace in it, okay? Like Tony Stark mentions MySpace. That's how old this movie is, but it's so good, okay? Like I love everything, man. I love it. At the end of the movie, he goes, I am Iron Man. Oh, dude, so good. The villain is, the Ironmonger. His name, who plays him? It's Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is Ironmonger. I thought he was pretty cool.
The dude.
Yeah, the dude. Terrence Howard is Rhodey in this movie, and not Don Cheadle. But I thought it was cool you seeing him construct his suits and in the desert with the doctor guy that he's with. I forget his name, but the guy that helps him, like, on his journey to become Iron Man when they're like, stuck together in prison or whatever. Such a good movie, man. Pepper's good in this. Everybody's good in this. I really, really like this movie. It's the very first MCU movie. So I have to have it up there. It's so good. I really, really enjoy it. My favorite Iron Man movie. Oh, yeah, Jensen. That's right, Majin. That's his name. Yeah, Jensen. Him. That's good. I like the Mark I suit where they constructed in the fucking thing in the prison or whatever. It's such a good movie, man. I really like Iron Man. So it's up there for me. Top 10, exactly number 7. So yep, that's my number 7, Iron Man.
All right. My number 7 is Ant-Man. Just Ant-Man, the first one.
Okay.
I love Ant-Man, guys, and I put it really fucking high, and a lot of it has to do just with Scott Lang, the character, getting out of jail, trying to do right by his fucking kid. It's got heart, it's got soul, and I love it so much.
Josh really does love Ant-Man.
I do, and the biggest weakness is the villain. Again, as we've said multiple times. I mean, it's not even that weak, really. It's just... I think the real villain of this movie is Scott just trying to go straight and do right by his kid, really. And he just needs somebody to fight once he becomes Ant-Man. Ant-Man needs a villain. But the real hero of this movie is Scott Lang. You meet all of Scott's buddies in this movie. Great. We've talked about it before. I don't really need to say all that much, but Michael Pena, great. Is Luis and all the other guys. And Hope Van Dyne and Hank Pym, they're all just great. I enjoyed it very much. And you got your boy Anthony.
Anthony, yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
But yeah, I have a soft spot for this movie. It's why it's so high on my list. Paul Rudd just being... A lot of what I say in Ant-Man the Wasp is here. It's just magnified a lot because it's the first go-round.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really enjoy...
I really like it.
I just really enjoy Scott Lang's relationship with his daughter and trying to go straight after getting out of prison for being a thief. I find that very interesting. And I'm a sucker for redemption stories, so... And that's all I got to say about Ant-Man. A lot of it is a lot of the same stuff as Ant-Man and the Wasp, just magnified.
Yeah.
Cassie. Peanut.
Peanut. Yeah, she's great.
And I enjoy the ending fight. And I really dig the yellow jacket suit. I think it looks cool. But again, they just kind of steal the suit deal, become the villain. So I just think the suit looks fucking awesome. But yeah, that's why I really enjoy Ant-Man. And that's my 7.
That's his number 7.
What's your number 6?
My number 6. Get ready. I'm ready to get some shit for this. So you guys ready for number 6? Avengers Endgame is my number 6.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, I have Endgame at number 6. All right.
I'm shocked by this.
I'm sure you and many other people. Here's the thing, okay? I like Endgame, but it's not my favorite Avengers movie, okay? The first act is a little slow for me, okay? Like listen, I understand that they have to have like that period of time where they show us the aftermath of the snapping or whatever you want to call it, the snap, the devastation, whatever. After Thanos snaps his fucking, gauntlet, right? I understand that they have to show us some of the time after that, like, they have to show us people grieving and all that stuff, but it's a little slow for me, man. Like, I wish the movie doesn't pick up for me personally until spoiler alert, we're gonna go into some endgame stuff. The movie doesn't pick up for me until we go into the time heist, like until they start the time heist. So all the other stuff is cool. The Ronin Hawkeye stuff was incredible. Okay, that was fucking cool, man. This is probably my favorite Hawkeye movie. Like I've never liked it more than this, dude.
My boy got his due in this movie.
He was such a which it opens with him, by the way. The movie. It's you see him and his family, and they get snapped, and he's like, "What the hell happened?" So yeah, yeah. So the movie's a little slow for me. The time heist stuff is cool. That's when it picks up for me. Professor Hulk is weird. Professor Hulk is weird for me because I like Hulk just being the Hulk. So the Professor Hulk stuff for me is not my favorite, but I understand they have to evolve his character. He can't just be the same fucking Hulk dude that he's always been. So I get that. But I just personally prefer a meaner Hulk that's gonna bust your fucking shit. You know what I mean? We're currently talking about Endgame, Derper.
Which is Daniel's number 6.
It's number 6 for me, Endgame. So yeah, I just so all that stuff is cool. Captain Marvel's like barely in it. I thought she was gonna be in it more. I understand why they have to move her away because she's like pretty powerful or whatever. So the excuse is that she's off on other planets doing her thing. Which all right, fine, fair enough. She's in the beginning and the end, okay. And speaking of Captain Marvel, I'm not the biggest fan of her haircut. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like her haircut. I know it's a minor thing to be like, what the hell? But I like me Brie Larson with her long hair.
It just felt weird. Like you jump ahead 5 years and everybody's hair is different.
Yeah, like I get it, but
yeah,
I like my Carol Danvers with long hair. Okay, that's just a personal choice, a personal preference. Okay. Fat Thor and stuff was interesting. I'm not a fan of the Fortnite stuff, but I understand why they did that. Fat Thor was funny. I can relate with Fat Thor because I too am fat and unworthy, so I can relate with him on that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. The time heist stuff is great. It's a good movie, but it just doesn't pick up until like after like the first hour or so for me. So it's a good movie. I think the way they ended it was pretty cool. My breakaway character from this movie is Morgan Stark. She is the best, and we love her 3000. And yeah, man, just shout out to Tony Stark because he went out like a champ. Spoiler alert! Again, I told you we're gonna talk spoilers here.
Oh yeah, we totally are.
Tony Stark dies in Endgame. So does Black Widow. Rest in peace to two of the 6 OG Avengers. They went out. Which, by the way, how amazing was the Hawkeye Black Widow stuff? Like, oh my god, when they were like choosing to decide of who's gonna sacrifice, for who. Good stuff, man. That's just amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. But yeah, Avengers Assemble at the end. Finally, we got the Cap. They've been teasing it like every movie, and he finally said it. And then just seeing everybody at the end was great. There's so many people though, so it's like who's who? Where are you? Where's she? Where's him? Where are they? Too many people to keep track of. But it was cool seeing everybody. You see Giant Man and you know, all the Wakandans and all the wizards and the all that stuff. So it was cool seeing everybody. I like seeing the ladies together. The only one that was missing was Black Widow. Rip. She didn't make it to the end, but all
She
the
deserved
ladies,
to be there, damn it.
she did. She deserved to be there. But it was still cool, seeing everybody there at the end. Wasp and Captain Marvel and Pepper as Rescue was amazing. Finally, we got to see Pepper as Rescue. God damn it! They teased it in Iron Man 3, which I said I was going to mention earlier. But yeah, America's ass. Captain America.
That is
Captain
America's ass.
America's ass. Yeah, Captain America fighting himself. I can do this all day. He's like, yeah, I know. That was one of my favorite parts right there. Where him fighting himself. Hail Hydra. That's like an Easter egg to the comic where Captain America's like a Hydra agent or whatever. Yeah, Thanos getting his head cut off by Thor was great. Beginning of the movie. And yeah, I'm seeing if I'm missing anything. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I've only seen it once, everybody. I've seen it once. So this is why I have it at number 6. So yeah, that's I'm sure we'll talk more about Endgame when Josh brings it up, but I'm not we'll leave it at there for now.
All right.
Number 6 is Avengers Endgame for me.
My number 6 is Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange. This movie
It's a damn good movie.
Is good. The villain is good. It's not a weak villain. He's got mooks too. Mooks. I enjoy all the time stuff. I love Benedict Cumberbatch as the Doctor. A little bit of trivia. This is my dad's favorite movie. My dad watched this movie fucking without me. And that's, you don't understand. I have to teach you guys about my dad. My dad don't like stuff. He doesn't enjoy things. He enjoys Doctor Strange.
It's a good movie. I really like Doctor Strange too.
Mordo is awesome. Wong is awesome. I love all the time shit. You get to do some funky shit when you start fucking with time and other dimensions and the astral plane. Dormammu, I've come to fucking bargain, is so awesome. And just the Ancient One.
It's a good movie, man.
And I just really enjoy it.
Go ahead.
What do you got to say? Go ahead.
All I was gonna say, I forgot to mention, since I talked about Endgame already, fucking the Ancient One comes out in Endgame. Like she's in Endgame, and it's cool, man. I like her stuff between her and Bruce Banner. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just love all the time shit. And Mads is the villain. Mads is fucking awesome. And the cloak, the fucking cape. Doctor Strange's cape is a character practically.
The cloak of levitation. Yeah, I mentioned that. Cloak of levitation is like its own thing, doing its own thing. It was really cool, man.
And the Sanctum is cool, and them having that conversation with while he's in the fucking I don't even know what you call that thing. That body trap deal is pretty awesome. And then just the fights and the time stuff and.
Yeah, I mentioned Wong earlier, Majin. He's good, man. He's really good. Yeah, good movie.
I'm just trying to think. Is there Benjamin Bratt is in this movie? Or like,
is he the guy that's like he goes to tell him about going to?
Yeah, he's the guy playing basketball.
Yeah, the basketball guy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yep. That's who that is. Okay.
Yep. So, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Val,
exactly.
what's that ouch, Josh, for? What'd I do? Something dumb? But yeah, that's all I have for Doctor Strange.
What happened, Val? Why ouch? All right, cool. Yeah, Doctor Strange is his number 6.
All right, number 5.
And, top 5, everybody. Here we go. We're almost there.
We're getting there. This podcast is stretched into 3 hours.
It has, which I guess we could have anticipated, but your dad watched Doctor Strange last year.
No. Me and Dad watched it together one time. My dad watched it again when I wasn't with him, and for him to repeat a movie, I didn't make this clear. For him to repeat a movie is very fucking rare. So that's how much the old man liked Doctor Strange.
All right, so my number 5, top 5, everybody, you ready? Number 5, Avengers: Infinity War is my number 5. So I like this movie a little bit more than Endgame because it's kind of rare in these movies where we bad guy winning, and this is a very much so a Thanos movie. Like, he's like the main character of this movie, right? We start off the movie with him, we end the movie with him. And I really, really enjoy this movie. I don't. The lack of Hulk is very. It hurts me. There's no Hulk in this movie. Hulk is one of my favorite characters. If you guys didn't. And the lack of Hulk in this bums me out. But this movie starts out strong. You see Thanos beating up the Hulk at the beginning, which scares the Hulk throughout the rest of the movie.
Let him have his fun.
Yeah, you see Thanos just beating him up. The Black Order was pretty cool. I like the introduction of certain characters. Like, this is the first movie where we get to see certain people interact with each other. Like Doctor Strange and Tony interact for the first time was cool. You get to see the Guardians of the Galaxy meet the Avengers for the first time. He's like, where Doctor Strange is like, which master do you serve? And Peter Quill's like, what am I supposed to say? Jesus? Like, that's fucking funny. And then, Tony and Peter going at it. He's like, your plan sucks, but my plan's good. It would be a lot better if it was my plan. And then, Tony talking to Squidward. He's like, Earth is closed today, Squidward, or something like that. And then, Captain America's intro in this is badass. He steps out of the shadows and grabs the fucking staff spear thing.
That fucking music kicks in. Oh my god, chills.
The Avengers theme is there's like, it's so good. Okay, everybody knows this, but it's incredible. Anyway, we lose Vision in this movie. We lose Gamora in this movie. We lose Loki in this movie. So we lost some people in this. A little bit of a obviously darker tone because a lot of people die. But I think sometimes you need to have a little bit darker stuff, because especially since you have so much. Like I said, this is a movie where the bad guy wins. Every other movie, the good guys win, and that's fine and all. But sometimes you like to have stuff where they don't always win. So I really like Infinity War. Yeah, it was cool seeing Peter Dinklage as a giant dwarf. When they were making Stormbreaker.
That's what cool. Killing you means.
That's what killing you means. Yeah,
it's so good.
The back and forth between Thor and Rocket is great. I really like that. What else? Groot not doing anything until he like chops his own hand off and makes Stormbreaker is pretty good. Thor and Sweet Rabbit. Exactly, Val. Sweet Rabbit. And he's like, you should have cleaned that eye because I had to put it up my when Rocket gives Thor his eye. That's good. There's some good moments when Thanos is like messing with people and he like uses the stones to like turn like Peter's gun into like a water gun, like shooting bubbles or whatever, and then some of the things he does with that thing, like he turns Drax and Mantis and like I forget who else. I think maybe it might have just been those two. He turns them into like cubes or some shit, or like stringy things. I don't know. It's weird, but it's when they go to the collector and whatever, and then like that stuff happens. But yeah, it's cool because you get to see a lot of characters interact for the first time in this movie. Oh yeah, don't lay your eggs in me. Yeah, when Spider-Man's talking to Mantis, that's good. But yeah, this was a really good movie, and I've seen it a lot of times, so that's why I put it over Endgame right now. Maybe in the future it'll change if after I watch Endgame a couple more times, but for right now I have Endgame or Infinity War over Endgame at number 5. I really enjoyed the movie. there isn't really anything that I have negative to say about this movie, um, at all. Really, I like the Iron Spider suit. That's really really cool. Spider-Man does another movie reference, this time to Alien, and yeah, I really like the movie. So, Infinity War number 5.
All right. My number 5 is the original first Iron Man. The
Heck
one
yeah.
that kicked it the fuck off. That we have all these 22 fucking movies to this day.
The thing that gave us what we have now.
Robert Downey Jr. is, as Tony Stark, Iron Man. His story before this movie even got made is amazing, which he fits perfectly. He is Tony Stark.
He really is. He's become synonymous with Iron Man the way that like Hugh Jackman was Wolverine, and like some of these certain characters have embodied this, or some of these actors have embodied this character so much that like when you think of the character, you can't help but not think of the actor as well.
Yeah. And he's just perfect. He's just perfect. And I have nothing really negative about this movie. Villain's a little weak, but it's Jeff Bridges. But other than that, the movie is amazing. It's great. I enjoy all the cave stuff.
That's really good.
Where Tony's making the suit. Him and Jensen, or however you say it.
Yeah, Jensen, I think.
It's just great, and and then it ends with he's gonna keep his identity secret, and it just ends with I am Iron Man, and it's just great. It's great. It just kicked off everything we love and what would come to be. So I had to put it high just because of that.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be my top 10, but it's just it's tough ranking stuff. But yeah,
it's that introduction.
Indeed.
Also, fucking thanks, Jon Favreau, for directing that, because you are fucking insane.
Heck yeah, Jon Favreau is the man.
You pulled that shit off beautifully, so.
Very, very well. Very well.
What you got for number 4?
Number 4, I have Captain America: The First Avenger. Now, here's where I'm going to be honest here. My next 3 movies are the Captain America trilogy, okay?
All right, fair.
I love this trilogy, okay? We're starting with The First Avenger because I fucking love this, okay? I really do. Like, listen, I like the team up movies, like, Avengers, where you have everybody together and stuff. But I'm also a fan of when, like, you just have like a solo character and you go on their journey, and like it's incredible, okay? But I love The First Avenger. I love Cap's origin story, him and Bucky, fucking Red Skull is great. We talked about this a little bit earlier because Josh talked about it, but yeah, I really, 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 really like this movie. So it's a World War II movie, so we got a history piece here.
We love our action flicks. Set in World War II.
Yeah, so yeah, you have the Howling Commandos and Hydra, and Captain America going through the several suit changes and whatnot, and it's such a good movie, man. To me, this is a very underrated Marvel movie. It's pretty underrated. I know a lot of there's people that don't like it. I obviously don't like it as much as I do, because for me it's top 4, obviously. But I just really like this movie, man. Peggy, oof, another attractive lady. Haley Atwell, yeah. But yeah, I really like me some Captain America: The First Avenger, man. The suit that they use in that movie for Cap is fucking incredible, dude. Just one of the best, man. That suit is awesome. You see him with the shield. There's like a point where there's a montage, and you see him with the shield and a gun. He's just shooting shit, and the Howling Commandos are behind him, and you're just seeing like them fuck up Hydra, and it's awesome, man. It's so cool. It's so cool. Like I said, fucking Hugo Weaving as Red Skull is amazing. You have Arnim Zola, was pretty good. Fucking what's his name was good in this. The guy from Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones. as like the general guy. He was pretty good.
I forgot to talk about him being in there.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, man, he was a pretty significant character in this movie.
He was probably like, "Give me one of them Marvel movies," and they made him a fucking general.
And then like, yeah, it's a really good movie. I really like it. Captain America trilogy is there for me. It's my favorite trilogy in the MCU. One of my favorite trilogies of all time as well. And yeah, I just I really like it. So Captain America: The First Avenger is number 4 for me.
All right. My number 4 is Infinity War. I love Infinity War. It is awesome. I've rewatched it a couple times since it came out. Just, oh my goodness. Where do you start with? You got Thanos. This is, I echo what Daniel says. This is his movie. He is the hero.
He's a hero of his own story.
Exactly. And he has a motivation that I feel is, it's a good motivation for him to want to collect the Infinity Stones and snap, right?
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah. I'm not crazy over Ebony Maw and all those lackeys. But they don't really last that long in the movie either. Well, a couple of them do toward the end, but
yeah, during the Battle of Wakanda, yeah.
But yeah, Doctor Strange and everybody's interactions is awesome. Strange meeting Tony and yeah, much like Daniel says, Hulk, no Hulk. There's no Hulk here, and then the next time you get Hulk, it's Professor Hulk, which is weird. Yeah. It's just kind of like Hulk died. Like Thanos killed fucking Hulk almost in this movie.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. In a way.
Hulk, we all know.
Yeah, and which is kind of sad. And I find the Vision Wanda relationship a little weird, but maybe that's just because I don't know. It's just a little weird to me. It's a little strange.
I can understand that. I know it's a comic thing. I think Majin will tell us, but I think it's a comic book thing, the Vision and Wanda stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. It is a little weird.
The parts I like most about this movie, though, are Thor and the Guardians.
It's good stuff right there.
Yeah, and then them splitting off, and then Thor for me is probably my favorite part of this whole movie. Is just him trying to get better. Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I forgot to mention it when I talked about it, but Thor is like the dude that gets the most to do on the good guy's side.
Really, he really is.
He's like the main guy in Infinity War. Yeah, for sure.
And I
also forgot to mention. Sorry again to interrupt.
No, you're good, bro.
In my Endgame stuff, you said your favorite stuff in this movie, Infinity War, was Thor and the Guardians. I forgot to mention when I talked about Endgame, fucking he's with the Guardians now, so that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. This movie has such a strong opening and makes no bones about what's about to happen, killing fucking Loki and killing
They set the tone right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Even the Marvel intro does not have any. It's completely silent.
Killing Heimdall and like half the fucking Asgardians.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, this movie's just great. I really enjoy the Battle of Wakanda. Thor is landing at that fight and that music going off and him going just full lightning god in that moment is amazing. Him with Rocket is awesome. Fucking Bucky getting the arm, going to fucking war is awesome. Hulkbuster armor is okay. I would rather had Hulk on that fight, but
yeah, same here. Doesn't get to do much.
That's my. The more I think about it, the more it bothers me.
Yeah, that's an issue that I had because, like, listen, Hulk is one of my favorite characters, and you'll see why when we get to my number 1. But man, he wasn't in this movie, man. Like, he was at the beginning, and then he just disappeared, and we never get to see Hulk ever again.
And then you should have went for the head, and then snap, and then Thanos wins.
Bring me Thanos!
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Thor he's so strong in this movie.
He's badass in this movie. But
yeah, that's what I got for number 4. What you got for number 3?
Number 3, I have Captain America: Civil War.
Ah.
Now, again, Captain America trilogy is gonna be all around here. I love this trilogy. Civil War is fantastic. It has the two teams, Team Stark, Team Cap, or Team Tony, Team Steve, whatever you want to call it. We get the introduction of Black Panther and Spider-Man in this, and I guess Giant Man too. Yeah, that counts. Aunt May as well, and it's just really cool seeing these two sides team up together. That airport fight scene is incredible. Okay, it is amazing. All right, that thing is so good. And then yeah, like this is another one of those bad guys that may not be everybody's favorite, but he does win. He succeeds in his plan. Zemo, he succeeds in what he wanted to do, tear the Avengers apart and fight each other and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I really really enjoy this movie. Another one. This movie is another one where you get to see people interact for the first time, like Falcon and Bucky, or Falcon and Winter Soldier and Spider-Man, Spider-Man and Cap. He's like, "Where you from, kid?" Queens, Brooklyn. That kind of thing, and you get the whole Giant Man, and for a minute you think Rhodey's gonna die because he gets shot down by Vision, I think, in an accident, and he goes down, and that whole thing. The end to this movie where it's Steve and Bucky at the end looking for the other, the other people, that the super soldiers or whatever, right? And then Tony comes in, and the whole thing about, did you know that Bucky, or did you know that your friend killed my parents or whatever? Man, that's rough to look at. Like I was Team Cap. Like I'm always Team Cap, Team Steve. But dude, like you can't tell me if you knew your friend or your friend's friend killed your parents, you wouldn't want to fucking whoop their ass or whatever, right? So for that moment, I was like, you know what? I understand Tony and what he wants to do. But like, dude, what a moment, that final fight with Bucky and Steve against Tony. You get both of them like kick his ass, and they like just it's such a good fight. There's a good moment there at the end, and then like Tony takes Bucky's arm off and stuff, and then like Steve beats up Tony, and he's like, I can do this all day, and it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Black Panther introduction, and like I said, Spider-Man, and good movie. I really like it. The whole airport fight is amazing. I think that was number 3 for me. Yes, number 3 is Civil War.
My number 3 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Aha!
I haven't seen this one in a while, but I love it.
Me too.
Because you start off and you got the friendship between Black Widow and Cap is kind of front and center in this one, right? And they're off fighting counterterrorism shit. You got Rumlow in there, and then it all just spins out of control with Hydra undercover and all that shit happening. And then Bucky shows up, and then you get Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, in this fucking movie.
On your left?
On your left. And Cap's list is in this movie, if I'm right. He's got all the shit he needs to catch up on.
Yep, Star Wars and Nirvana and a bunch of other things.
The Hydra moles I dig. But the biggest thing I dig is the Winter Soldier, of course, Bucky and Cap, and him having that fucking fight. That fucking fight. The fucking fight with the knife flip. And he actually flips that fucking knife. The behind the scenes video shows that good, fucking fight.
It's pretty damn good.
Go watch that fucking behind the scenes shit for this movie. I have nothing bad to say about this movie. This movie is awesome.
It's fantastic, yeah.
And it's just Shield implodes and just it's so good. You got Robert Redford in here. I like Robert Redford.
Yeah, Robert Redford was a good villain.
Yeah. But for me, most of this movie is just Cap and Bucky, and them having that fucking fight, and just which is, I mean, it's the Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So there it is.
Oh yeah. So that's your number 3, right?
Yep. Number 2 for you.
My number 2, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So this movie is phenomenal. Okay, it is. For a while, I had it as my number 1, but yeah, it's This movie's amazing, guys. It's really amazing. You have the GSP cameo too, by the way, at the beginning there. But yeah, the relationship between Bucky and Steve is one of the better ones, and this movie is incredible because they make the Winter Soldier be a badass, but also like you understand that he's been like manipulated and brainwashed and stuff. So it's really good, man. Yeah. Then uh yeah, there's a lot of Natasha and Steve stuff going on that you get a lot more of their friendship. Steve is like, been under Shield for a while now. He's doing his thing. They're going on missions, taking out terrorists and whatnot, or pirates or whatever the fuck they were at the beginning. And yeah, just Nick Fury supposedly dies, and we find out that he doesn't. He faked it out, and Robert Redford's a pretty good villain. Um, the whole elevator fight scene was fucking cool, which they reference in Endgame again.
I forgot to mention that, but yeah, that fucking elevator fight scene is awesome.
Yeah, the elevator fight scene is all the fights in this movie are great though. To be honest, every fight in this movie is fucking cool, man. The beginning of the movie alone, like I saw this movie in the theater, and my crowd, it's probably one of the best crowds I've ever had in a movie theater. This crowd was incredible, man. It was hype as shit from beginning to end, and I loved it. So that's another reason why I love this movie. It gave me one of the best crowds I've ever had. But yeah, besides the fact from that's a fantastic movie. Yeah, just the reveals. Like I remember, like I already knew, like beforehand that Bucky was the Winter Soldier because I'd like seen comics or I heard about comics and movie or like TV show stuff or whatever. So that didn't surprise me. But my crowd was pretty hype when that happened. They were like, "Oh, what?" All that type of stuff. But anyway, it's a great ass movie. I really love it. Crossbones again is in here. You get Sam Wilson, yeah, for the first time. I forgot to mention him. The fight where he's like trying to get away from the helicarrier and fucking Winter Soldier just brings his ass down and takes his wing out and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then you have Sam Wilson fight Crossbones, and yeah, just such a good movie, man. And by the way, the song that they use here when Nick Fury is like shot when he gets shot in Steve's apartment, when there's music playing in Steve's crib, is the house that they play, or the song that they play at the end of Endgame when spoiler alert, Steve and Peggy are dancing. So I thought that was a pretty cool reference or nod or however you want to call it to that. A good use of it. That's the proper term. There you go. But yeah, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I adore this movie very much. It's very good. That's my number 2 in the MCU. And yeah, we're gonna go to Josh's number 2 now.
My number 2 is we're in the end game now, except it's not because it's Thor Ragnarok. I love Thor Ragnarok. It is just fucking fun. It's such a step up from 2, right? 2 is so bad.
2 is so bad, and 3 is so good.
Oh, Ragnarok is so amazing. Everything about it.
I know people were giving me shit for having it at 8, but you guys have to understand. I still really love and enjoy the movie, but it's hard making a list, guys. Okay?
It is hard. Hela, I think, is one of the best villains, and oh my god, Cate Blanchett, you are smoking in this movie. That's my kind of villain, if you know what I mean. Loki and Thor and Get Help is hilarious. I love it so much. This movie's just fun, man. It's just really fun. The fucking hammer gets destroyed. Loki and Thor's Odin dies, and it's sad and it's heartbreaking, and it's just great. And then Carl Urban is Scourge and his fucking guns, and Jeff Goldbluming it up like a motherfucker.
Yeah. It's my birthday.
Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. Oh, she's awesome. Heimdall is also great in this movie, and he looks awesome in this movie. They change up his look a bit. And Hulk. Fucking Hulk and Thor and their fucking fight. He's a friend from work.
Fucking Planet Hulk, right? Or World War Hulk? I don't know.
Big raging fire. Angry girl. Oh my god. Hulk fucking talks in this movie. This is my favorite version of Hulk.
I forgot to mention one thing when I talked about it is Hulk Loki's Thor, and by that I mean he ragdolls him like he did Loki, and that's pretty funny. And Loki's reaction to that is amazing.
Yeah, the movie's just fun. It's just fucking hilarious and fun and awesome, and
yeah, it really is.
And the Bifrost Bridge fight is amazing. The Warriors 3 get done a little dirty, but that's my only issue with it.
That was like one of my complaints, yeah.
There's something else I was gonna say. Thor fighting Hela and her saying, "What are you the fucking god of?" Like, what are you the god of? And it's fucking lightning and all that shit and powers up.
She takes his eye out.
Oh my god. Yeah, he loses his fucking eye.
Yeah, each time we talk about stuff, I always forget things.
There's so much fucking happens, man. Korg and Mick are hilarious. Love them.
They really.
Soundtrack is amazing.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And before the trailer for this movie came out, I was like, oh, another Thor movie? Well, I hated Thor 2. That trailer came out for this, and I was like, oh, fuck. They fixed it. So, yeah. And Thor and Loki kind of work out their sibling bullshit in this movie, and it's great, and I enjoy it very much. Their relationship is awesome, so. I know I said a lot, but Jesus, this movie's just so good.
It's a good movie. I really, really love it. It's really, really good.
Oh my god, when Thor comes back to fucking home and Odin's doing the goddamn play, lose my shit.
Yeah, when Odin is Loki.
Oh, it's Loki so Odin, good. Yeah. Fucking Matt Damon.
By the way, that's a Matt Damon cameo, yeah.
Fucking Matt Damon. It's
so
just
funny,
so
dude.
Good.
So fucking good.
It's so funny. And Get Help is one of my favorite parts.
Valkyrie strut from the ship with the fireworks. Oh yeah, that's good. Valkyrie's great in this.
This movie's so good. I had to put it high just because I enjoy it.
Which, by the way, I know Derper mentioned it earlier, but Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth are doing the new Men in Black together. That's gonna be fun. Yeah. That movie looks pretty fun.
But it's just when I watch this movie, I can't stop smiling, and that's why it's
really good. Yeah, I get it. I understand why it's number 2. Yeah.
All right, what's your number 1?
Number 1, you guys know what's coming. It's the only movie that's not on this list. And this is Marvel's The Avengers from 2012. Okay? The original Avengers movie is my favorite one. Why? You guys have to realize this is we're going to a different time. Okay? We're going back in time. Time machine. We're time heist. Back to 2012, okay? At this point, we have not had any of these movies in our lives, okay? There's never been a movie where all these people from different superhero movies team up together in one movie, right? They did it here. And they did it so well. I love this movie. It's number 1 for me. It's probably mainly, I think it's nostalgia, and I just, again, the Hulk is one of my favorite probably my favorite is the Hulk. And he hulks the fuck out in this movie, okay? And I love it, okay? The Chitauri are there to get their ass whooped, and I'm all about this, okay? Because Hulk will be fucking up, all right? Puny God, he grabs Loki, he's like, fuck you, Loki. He takes him on the ground and flips him back and forth. He destroys all the Chitauri and all the big old, like, I don't know what those things are called, but like the worm ship looking things. I don't know what they are exactly, but anyway. He wrecks shop in this movie. Just the hero shot when they're all in a circle together and you see them all for the first time in the group shot, incredible. Probably one of the things that I don't like is Captain America's suit in this movie. It's not great. They tried to like modernize the Cap suit, but I don't know. I prefer the first Avengers suit. It's just way better. But yeah, it was cool seeing everybody. Mark Ruffalo's first role as the Hulk, or Bruce Banner, and that was good. Natasha being strapped to a chair on the phone, talking to Fury or whatever, beating the fuck out of everybody was great. I just really, really like this movie, man. Like I remember when it first came out. Again, this is at a different time, man. We didn't have all these other. We didn't have Infinity War. We didn't have Endgame. We didn't have a bunch of this other stuff. We didn't have Guardians, man. We were 2 years away from getting Guardians. So it's just, it's one of those things for me that this movie will always be like, I always have love for this movie because it's one of those, like, it's one of the original ones. Like one of the first, like, things where we got to see all these people together in one movie, and they did a damn good job at it. And you know, they gave everybody their due in this, man. All six of the main, you know, heroes got to do their thing. Nick Fury got to do his thing. The Galaga guy was cool. You know, he appeared for a second playing Galaga, and yeah, I just it's really good. I for that reason, I have I have an army. We have a Hulk. That's a damn good line. You know, I understood that reference as a Captain America line in this movie that you know we use a lot nowadays, and it was just Josh said it earlier. There's a lot of good lines in this movie. You know, I just I really
so many, and I forgot a bunch of them too. So
yeah, there's a lot. There's so many, but I really like this movie. For that reason, it is number one for me. And yeah, that's my list from 22 to 21, guys, or 22 to 1, not 21.
So my number one's a cop out. It is Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
I get that it is a slow start. I do not disagree with that. I enjoyed it. It's just everything built up over the course of 20 fucking over 20 movies.
It's the culmination of this entire thing. Yeah,
it's the passing of the torch. It's an age that is over. It is gone.
That's true. Yeah, we're moving on to the next era.
And Hawkeye got his moment to fucking shine.
Yep, I would imagine that's why. Yeah, your boy gets to do some stuff.
But it's not just Hawkeye. I mean, he's great, of course. This is Ronan, and him just fucking murdering motherfuckers in Japan. It's great. Spoilers. There's gonna be a fuckload of spoilers.
Great,
If you're with us now, you've saved for the fucking spoilers. But I think the biggest, most emotional part of this movie. Oh, there's so many emotional parts though.
There is.
But one of the biggest ones for me is Hawkeye and Black Widow fighting to die for the other one, right? Like they're fighting each other so they can die for each other, and it's, oh my god, I get chills thinking about it. Them just fighting tooth and nail to stop the other one so they can die for them, and just in that moment where he's like, and I was hands down thought Hawkeye was gonna be the one to die, and when it was Black Widow instead, I was shocked and surprised, and I couldn't believe it. And some people said it should be Hawkeye, and maybe they're right, but man, for it to be Black Widow, I think.
No, I think it makes sense for it to have been her.
I don't think Hawkeye, even though he gets his family back, I don't think he'll ever be the same.
He got his family back, and with the sacrifice of his friend, so you know.
Yeah, and it's so emotional. Because their friendship is one of the big real friendships that start like from the moment they're shown.
They're longtime friends. Yeah.
They've been friends for a long time, so it's just like, God, it hurt. He when he woke up and had the stone, it hurt inside a little bit for me. But Jesus, that moment's so hard to get through, and it's also one of my favorites because that's what heroes do. They fight so they could die for each other.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite moments of that movie too. It's really good. Such a hard, tough, emotional moment.
Oh my God, there's something. The Avengers assemble. Hulk and the taco. It's funny.
Hulk and the taco.
I'm the same with you with Professor Hulk. Our Hulk died in Infinity War.
Yeah, like listen, I'm giving the Hulk shit in Infinity War and Endgame because it's not the Hulk that I like. But I perfectly understand that they had to do that to his character. You have to evolve the character, right?
Yeah.
I get that. All I'm saying is I prefer the Hulk that's gonna whoop your fucking shit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The Hulk that's gonna smash, all right? That's why one of the reasons why I have fucking Avengers: The First One number one because I love that shit, dude.
It was just it was a little jarring for me. Was all. Like the next thing you know, there's Professor fucking Hulk. There's no like. I went through all this hard shit to get here. It's just there's Professor Hulk. You know what I mean?
Because they did the time jump.
Yeah. So it's a little weird. Because I mean, the last time you see the Hulk that we're used to, he's getting his ass beat by Thanos, and so I immediately associate that Hulk died and new Hulk was born. So,
the old R.I.P. our Hulk.
Because we do that time jump.
Masha and Dab.
Yeah, there's some shit that's funny. Fat Thor. Oh my God.
Fat Thor, yeah.
Where do I start with Fat Thor? Because, yes, it's funny, But I also look at the deeper layers because that character is super depressed and alcoholic, drinking all the time, staying drunk because he's super depressed and because he sees himself as failing. And like I relate to that. Not the drunk part, but the failing and not being worthy part. Like it just it hits you. It hits you. Even though he's funny a lot of the time, it hits you. And this movie redeemed Thor 2 a tiny bit, just a smidge. It's still, you got the time heist stuff, and it was great, and him getting to talk to his mom was.
I forgot to mention, you're bringing up the worthy stuff. That was such a great moment between him and his.
Yeah.
When they're back in Asgard, and he's like, he's about to leave, and he sticks his hand out.
Sometimes it takes.
And Mjolnir gets here, and he has like, I'm still worthy.
I'm still worthy, and it's
damn
just
right
like,
you are, buddy.
Oh my god,
Damn
it
right
hits you. It hits you. I'm still worthy,
that was such an emotional moment, man. It was so good. Oh
my god.
I love that. Him and his mom getting to talk again, and it's so good, man.
And then at the end, you got that big fucking fight. And I actually thought Ant-Man was dead, by the way. When he got blown the fuck up by Thanos, I'm like, oh fuck, he's dead. Like, there's no way. But he does live. And apparently you can see him start to shrink when it happens. So I'm like, fuck, they just killed my favorite character. One of my favorite characters. The whole end fight is awesome. There's a lot going on. I get it. And then, oh my god, the dual wielding the fucking axe and the hammer is so dope by Chubby Thor.
Yeah, and then also Steve, dude, fucking Cap.
And then Cap gets Cap gets that shit, and they just fight. And Cap gets that fucking hammer, and just
And Thor's like, I always knew.
I knew it. Oh, it's so good, so good, so good. Oh my god. Yeah, and I expected Captain Marvel to be in this movie a bit more, but at the same time, I didn't really like the Captain Marvel movie that much. I don't feel like I have a good connection to that character yet. I guess it's because she's so new. And I have like 20 other movies for all the others.
Speaking of Captain Marvel, though, I forgot to mention that when I talked about Captain Marvel, it was really cool seeing the Stan Lee Marvel intro. That was cool.
Yeah. That was emotional.
Yeah.
And then the I Am Iron Man and the
yeah.
Tony Stark snap.
Iron Man.
Love you 3000, and your dad loved cheeseburgers. I still cry. Like it's so.
Oh yeah.
It's so emotional. Oh my god.
I love Morgan Stark, man. I hope we get to grow up with her character. She like eventually becomes a hero.
I'm down.
I love her, man. She was good. She was really cool.
I didn't mention Ant-Man. Ant-Man's the fucking hero of this movie. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
He's the one with the plan, dude.
He's the one with the plan. He's the one that's like, hey, I can do it. We can do it. We got to do this. We got to do it this way, and this is how we do it. And then him searching for his family's name on the stone, and he finds his fucking name. And he goes and sees Cassie, and she's fucking grown, dude. And like
a grown peanut.
And it's like Ant-Man hits you that much harder because it's been 5 years and she's grown, and he's missed 5 years of her life when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just emotional. So, and Nebula shines in this movie.
Oh, this is her best movie by far.
Absolutely shines.
By far, the best Nebula movie. Endgame, for sure.
And I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff, but overall, this movie doesn't have a weak link anywhere for me. Everything is just perfect.
Damn good. The way they wrap things up, Steve going back to Peggy.
Yeah.
Seeing Pepper as rescue, I know I mentioned that earlier too. Yeah, just the funeral scene. The kid from Iron Man 3 was in there.
Yeah. Funeral scene. I love you 3000. Burgers.
Love you 3000 cheeseburgers. Happy better get her all the cheeseburgers.
And Pepper's like, okay, we'll be.
Yeah, Pepper. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Great movie.
So there's our list, guys.
There it is, 22 to number 1.
22. It took fucking 4 hours.
It took 4 hours to get through this, so we're really supposed to do this for like 2 hours. But hey, man, like I said, some days it's gonna go above, some days it's gonna go. I doubt it's ever gonna go lower, but sometimes we're gonna try to go for 2 hours.
I was just like, I don't know, hour and a half maybe.
Yeah, we took a break at the wrong time. I think.
We did. I thought, we'll just put it in here because we usually want to. It's fine, doesn't matter.
Yeah, New Master 69 was slain.
Yeah, the Fortnite stuff. Thor was hilarious. So I mean, I hate Fortnite, but that was funny.
Yeah. But anyway, that's our list, everybody. We finally made it.
Oh my goodness.
It took a while to get here, but we fucking did it, man.
We talked a lot.
We sure did. It was fun though, man. I had a blast talking about this. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's our show, guys.
Yeah, with that, we're gonna be wrapping things up though. It's been a blast. Remember that we'll be doing these. This is a weekly thing every week, same time. So be sure to join us here on Josh's channel. I had such a great time today, man. So thank you, Josh, for getting everything working properly, and thank you everybody in the chat for coming in and
we appreciate all that support, y'all.
Very, very much. So thank you guys for being here, and conversing with us, and telling us things we may have missed out on that we probably forgot, and yeah, well, had a great time. Thank you guys.
So much fun, so much fun. Anyway, next week we're gonna talk Star Wars.
Next week our topic is Star Wars. There's a lot to talk about in the Star Wars universe.
We're not doing a ranking for it.
We're not ranking the movies. We're just gonna talk about Star Wars, the current state of Star Wars, things that we have to look forward to in the future. Just overall, just thoughts like that. And of course, also, we're going to talk about, like we did at the beginning of this podcast, there's going to be things that, that happen throughout the week, and we'll talk about it at the beginning, like we did today.
Yeah, news, movies, news.
We'll have side, we'll have other, things to talk about before we get into the main topic, like today. So, yeah, that'll be the next week's topic is Star Wars. Today was Marvel. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much. Appreciate you guys' support. It's been a blast. I've had a damn good time talking about this stuff. It definitely went longer than we anticipated, but we made it. We made it, everybody.
Hell yeah! Don't forget, y'all. Game of Thrones is tomorrow, so make sure you watch that.
Hell yeah! We'll probably talk about that next week as well.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that too.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else, guys. Make sure to follow the channel here, and follow the Twitter, and go follow Daniel's channel as well. Yeah,
we'll be wrapping up The Witcher 3 I don't know about very soon, but we're getting close to the end of the story, and we'll be starting the DLC stuff soon. So we'll be playing that again on Monday. So remember to come back on Monday. And one last thing is, remember, on the 26th of Sunday, the 26th of this month, we have our D&D game, Frozen Decimation. Be sure to join us. That's a whole lot of fun.
And that shit's kicking off good.
The last two have been amazing, so be sure to join us for some good stuff.
Hey, I made Baba cry. That last
True story.
Not in a mean way.
True story. Yeah, something that happened within the story of the game. But anyway.
But yeah, man, that's all we got,
That's
guys.
episode 1.
We love you all so much, and come back next week. And yeah, guys, good evening.
Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.